This is a HeadGum podcast.
So we're going back to our roots this evening on this podcast. We got our microphone here, just our old mic propped up on several YouTube books.
It feels like home, honestly.
It does. So today's episode of Coffee with Crachel,
is on the move.
We are in a new location, guys.
And there's some other voices here that have not been here before.
So we have our friends Ashley and Malorie on the show, and they are huge Harry Potter fans. And the reason for our friendship is kind of because of Harry Potter. So we wanted to do a part 2 on the old Hogwarts episode.
Yeah. I mean,
so that's what we're doing.
This is obviously going to come with some spoilers, so, let's just get that out of the way. If you haven't finished everything, probably, then you're not going to want to listen to this. Yes, so we are... well, actually, you guys should introduce yourselves first.
Yeah, who are you guys? Ambiguous voices in the background.
I'm Malorie.
I'm Ashley.
And who the fuck are you to each other, honestly?
We're just living life.
Two
in the
peas.
same apartment.
Two peas in a pod.
Just gals being pals.
Yeah, gals being pals. We're wives.
Yeah.
Of each other.
Yeah, okay.
And but it's actually a foursome now. And we brought a suitcase this weekend.
Yeah,
and
we're moving in. Yeah, we're here. There's a cat.
Listen.
Her name's Minnie. It's fantastic.
Goodbye, Lila and Squeezy. Hello,
Wow.
Minnie.
I guess
They don't mean that.
that's the first part. Why is Minnie named Minnie?
You guys really love that Mickey Mouse, huh?
Yeah. No, it's M-I-N-I after old Professor Minerva McGonagall.
Yes.
That's her.
Classic.
Ye old McGon.
A strong female.
This is how far Harry Potter
Has
is
reached.
ingrained in here. It is here.
It is deep.
It is deep.
Truly.
So before we get into the old Hedwig moments, because that's all I want to talk about.
That's a whole episode dedicated to Hedwig's funeral because she never got one.
Yo,
and
honestly, we're not ready to get into that, but that was fucked up. Let's talk about the coffee. So we're drinking some good old Javalia.
honestly, this was really, really hyped up. So I am pleased to say that it is fantastic. But what is the coffee again?
It's just their Kenya roast. It's supposedly pretty new. But I don't know.
It's a nice mild.
It's definitely mild, yeah. It's a mild light roast.
That's what I'm into, honestly.
Yeah, it's good.
They also made us coffee with their Nespresso, and now I want one because I want to be able
That
to
thing frothed,
things.
and it was great. Also, non-dairy milks. You guys were right. They froth very well.
It froths up, if you know what I'm saying.
I think we get you.
So do we have a factoroni today?
Yes, we do. This is about recycling your coffee grounds. So
Nice.
you can repurpose used grounds to deodorize a stinky car,
Me.
keep slugs out of the garden, and exfoliate your skin, which we knew that
Girl,
one.
I've done that.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah. Do we have a slug problem in this home?
Well, we don't have a garden that's outside, so we can't exactly do that, but...
We may have a stinky car.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
I mean, I was in
It's
there and it
possible.
was impeccable, so I don't know.
Wow.
I loved the tissue box in the backseat, by the way. Very nice.
Yeah.
I did kind of squish it with my fat ass. So, sorry about that one. It was never the same. So yeah, coffee's good, company's okay, and hopefully Minnie makes a squeak at some point on this show.
She's looking pretty sleepy.
So I think
Classic not Lila.
we have to talk about, to start this off, like how we all became friends because it relates to Harry Potter.
And this podcast. if you
Yes.
Honestly, full circle.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is wild.
A complete circle.
will. There was a hand gesture of a circle. We should have had the video after that one.
Oh,
So, at what point did you guys find us?
Well, it all started with, me, Ashley. My friend Colleen, shout out to Colleen if you're listening,
Yup.
told me about your YouTube. I watched your YouTube, and then I was like...
What was the first video you ever watched?
Oh, God.
Oh, God. I don't know. It wasn't like anything too old. Like, I started watching you with...
It wasn't How Would You
It
Spend
was...
Christmas?
No, it was like after you guys moved to Seattle.
For sure.
Honestly.
Okay, so not too
Probably.
embarrassing.
I was
Yeah.
feeling fresh at that point.
Not too bad. And then I was obsessed with you.
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, we would be friends.
And then you made it happen.
all of the time when I'm watching people online.
And then I listened to the podcast, and it was when you guys were going through some things. And
classic us, honestly.
Yeah.
War flashbacks.
It's fine.
I had just read the books myself for the first time. And I was like, I want to pass this torch on. And I bought you guys the set of the books and sent them to you.
And I sobbed opening that package.
And, it was at that point when Rachel was like, somebody went out of their way to buy me this entire series, so now I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
After me for 5 years being like, you should read this
6.
series because it's great.
I just don't trust Chris. No, I just like to make him mad forever, for years.
It was a mistake for me to have had you watch the movies before.
Yeah, you really fucked up.
Yeah, I did. And, I regret that decision.
I still, don't... It's like, that decision is also just as bad as when you sold your N64.
Yeah.
Which, we have fucking... Mallory got Chris one, which is, crazy. So.
The greatest gift anybody's ever given me ever.
There's too much happening. So I obviously read the books, and then we reached out because you guys lived in Washington, and you guys were also from the East Coast. You're from Georgia, right? As I act like I don't know.
Yeah, this is an interview.
And it was just it all kicked off right at the coffee shop. You know what I mean?
It actually kicked off at a coffee shop.
It did.
Hung out for the first time at a coffee shop.
Because
that's our
the only
go-to.
place I know where to go and feel normal.
And now we're here, and we're all just loving Harry Potter and doing other things as well. We're going on a hike tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
Shoes.
Nature.
Yeah, so I think, some of the first things we should talk about is, what's your house? What's your Hogwarts house?
Gryffindor.
Hufflepuff and proud.
And then I'm a Ravenclaw, and Rachel's a Slytherin, and so we have all four.
All 4 houses, baby.
And, that's why this works. So.
That's the first time I ever noticed that, actually. Wow.
I said that earlier today!
I've listened. I
We
don't
said
listen
that
to what
the
you
first
said.
time we hung out. Wow.
This just in, Rachel's been absent this whole time.
Honestly, though, how realistic. But we got some fun stuff to talk about. We're gonna debate the old HP. We're gonna grind some gears.
There's been a lot of things that we didn't get to talk about in the first episode. We can have honestly, there are whole podcasts dedicated to Harry Potter, so we could talk forever. But there's definitely some things that we missed the first time that we want to talk this time around.
Yeah. So I think first things first. How the hell did you like it? Would you say it's like a C+? Are
you talking about the series in general?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Rachel. Well, I started reading, it was actually kind of funny because I never really liked to read before. I always thought oh man, only nerds read books, and I'm not a nerd. I like sports, yeah. And then even one of my best friends, she had been reading the series, and I remember just dragging her.
Oh
dragging
my God, that's
her
how it
vibe,
always starts.
Wow, you are such a goob. And then I picked it up because I was a library aide at school or something, and I started reading it, and then next thing I knew, I had finished the entire series in 4 days.
It really was
not
4 days.
Not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
4 days.
I did not sleep. All 7 books were out. This was back in 2007, so Deathly Hallows had just kind of come out. So it hadn't been out too long. I had to wait on a couple of the movies to come out, but I didn't have to wait on any of the books. So I think being able to read them like that really helped. And then ever since then, I've actually lost count how many times I've reread this series. Yeah, and I've read a lot of the accessory books and all of that stuff.
The
extra
Pottermore
stuff.
information.
Yeah, Pottermore stuff. And I've tried to keep pretty active with it. So yeah, definitely A+.
Yeah.
Yeah. A+.
I'm
for sure.
going through my second reread. As of right now, I'm on Chamber of Secrets.
Wow.
About halfway through.
I love Chamber of
So, there's a lot happening.
Yeah, you guys just got those new fancy paperbacks, and they are really nice.
Yep,
yes,
new
we
special
did.
edition.
Are they just American ones?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that the British
well, actually,
covers are
no, I'm
different.
sorry. So that those covers were actually the Marie Grand Prix ones. They were released internationally.
Oh.
But yeah, so the original paperback, you know, they have like the ones in the UK that are targeted towards like the adults, and they're like black and white with like one pop of color. I don't know if
I've
you've
seen those. I like those.
Very
yeah.
cool.
I always
That's
wanted
hella
those.
expensive.
No, they're average price. They're the same price.
Oh, okay.
Might be a little bit more just because obviously shipping and stuff. But yeah, that's actually what I want to get next.
And there still says
Yeah.
Philopicers.
Yeah.
Velociraptors.
So yeah, this is actually Dinos with Cragel.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
can you guys actually rate the books, like, in order?
Oh, God.
I get it that there's
God.
not going to be like, wow, I fucking hated this
We
one.
understand that the one that would be at the bottom is like, you still love it, but
Yeah.
there has to be an order.
And we've talked about it before. Like every time I reread it, changes a little bit. But
Yeah.
the one that has stayed the most steadily my favorite is definitely Half-Blood Prince.
Okay,
Same.
that's Chris's.
Yep.
Yeah, I love Half-Blood Prince because that's when we really start to like. We're pretty much done getting to know the characters that are going to be like we've been essentially introduced to everybody for the most part. That we're going to finish out this series with, and so many storylines were actually completed in Half-Blood Prince, like, you know, the original answers that we wanted about the diary, about, you know, Snape and Dumbledore's relationship, so we thought we had the answer on that one, but, you know,
Turns
twist.
out.
What a
You had
twist. But
something.
yeah, so Half-Blood Prince is definitely my favorite, and I'm a huge Ron and Hermione shipper, so of course that's when it really
Blossomings.
starts, to blossom with them and stuff once he got his shit together.
Yeah.
But, so Half-Blood Prince is definitely my favorite, and probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but Prisoner of Azkaban is actually my least favorite.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually did not like that one as much.
Any particular reason
yeah,
why?
I'm not incredibly crazy about Sirius Black.
I get it. It's okay.
I just, I didn't feel the connection to him that everybody else did. Like, of course, like, if it was Harry's way out, it was Harry's way out, but he had already kind of found that in the Weasleys at the Burrow and stuff, so it was like, I don't know.
Low-key, the movies kind of influenced my decision to really like Sirius, because I knew that you were supposed to fucks with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Especially since I've only read them once.
I don't know, I just didn't like how Sirius really, like, he tried to pretend that Harry was James, essentially. It was
Yeah.
like, and Molly, like, the fact that I'm siding with Molly, it's hilarious, because she said the same thing,
Yeah.
like, he's not James, because, I mean, he really did, he treated him like that and didn't necessarily always have his best interests.
Like, I feel like he redeems himself for being, like, a bully, but at the same time, like, I kind of wish they addressed his bully nature, like they did with James, a little bit more.
Yep.
Because they kind of just made him seem like he was great once he met in, like, the
So
present.
I won't run through and rank them all, just because, of course, like,
it's
that would
too
take
hard.
too long.
What
but
about you,
definitely,
Ashley?
I don't know. See, we were talking about this last night because Chamber of Secrets has always been my favorite movie because before I read the books, I had seen Chamber of Secrets. Like, that is my number one binge. Honestly, I know I can say the lines with it. And I thought that it was my favorite book, but we were talking about it in depth last night, and I'm not sure that it is.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry.
It's
And
revealed.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to finish rereading them this time and see how I feel.
Yeah.
Because I liked Chamber of Secrets because it was when you first get to see the connection between the three, Hermione, Ron, and Harry, but I don't really care for Ron that much.
I fucking know.
So I actually dragged Ashley about that comment
at our
last night.
anniversary dinner. She dragged me.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about the old, ye old Ron?
Lovely. So my thing with Ron is, like, I get it. Like, I know he didn't contribute much, and I completely understand that. But when you think about it, the life that he had at home, he was essentially, like, the least liked, even of his siblings. He was the youngest son. Anything that he could do had already been done before. There was no impressing his parents. It was just, there wasn't anything original that Ron could really do at home. And then when he went to school and stuff, he met Harry, and finally he had, like, been able to do something, I guess, that was out of the ordinary. Like, he had made this friend that was famous in the wizarding world, and was a good friend to him. And there's no denying that. He was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
my thing with him is just, like, I get that he is almost, like, lost in a sea of Weasleys at times.
Right.
I see him as the gateway to a lot of cool characters.
That's what I was. That's where I lost the train. Because it's true. Without Ron, Harry wouldn't have had that safe haven at the Burrow in the summers and stuff. He wouldn't have had the relationship. He wouldn't have met his wife, or he probably would have met her, dragging her out of the freaking chamber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe he wouldn't have gone down there to go get her as quickly as he did. Who knows? They were rushed. Of course, they were going to go down there anyway because that's the whole plot. But still,
well, I mean,
who knows?
You never know.
You never know. Yeah, you don't know.
Fuck the chamber. I'm just going to go to Hogsmeade.
I'm just skipping. Basilisk slithering around.
I told everybody I'm being a basilisk for Halloween, so I got the lipstick for it, and it's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wish... I thought, because I had seen so much of, the movie media and everything, before I even saw the movies, I just thought he was going to be, this, incredible, loyal, golden retriever-ass friend that's just, always there. And then he ended up being, such a little, whiny little man, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cedric was actually way...
In the few moments
I know,
that
I
he
wish
had,
you had
but
still
moments.
And I think for sure that Ron, while he definitely, was doing his thing, but then you got to think about what he contributed as a whole too. I mean, I don't know. It's hard. Look who he's being compared to.
Yeah. I know.
Harry and Hermione, just a god and goddess of the literary world. Honestly,
yeah.
So,
then if you had to rank the movies.
Or at least pick your favorite and your least favorite.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would definitely say...
oh, boy.
Again, I think Half-Blood Prince is somehow my favorite, but also my least favorite, just because there's a couple of scenes in there that really, really, really peeved me. But overall, I actually think it's one of the better movies. I genuinely believe that.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that the one where they fuck up the Burrow?
Yeah,
that's
that's what. Okay,
that was unnecessary.
That's one of the things
they were trying to create it. I get what they were trying to do because they understand that not everybody that's going to come pay to see the movie has read the book. So
but it's just dumb because the Burrow makes a comeback in Deathly Hallows, and it's okay.
They said they did it. The director and stuff. He said that he did it because they wanted a reminder of what the climate was. They wanted to remind everybody there is a war going on. Voldemort is back. He's doing it. The Death Eaters, they're in charge. They're, running around.
Don't be
doing
muggle.
The thing.
What is it, sympathizers or whatever?
Right. They were, So they said that's why they did it, is they wanted to, remind everybody, this is what's going on. But I'm like, really?
Still, it was a lot of probably money and time spent into that one scene.
Yeah,
that didn't have
seriously. Yeah, God.
So you think Half-Blood was your favorite?
Yeah, I thought it was really, really well done.
Yeah.
I thought the humor was good. It was just subtle enough, just like the book. I thought it was really good.
And what about your least favorite?
Least favorite movie?
I feel like you're about to pick my favorite one.
I'm gonna drag it again. Prisoner of Azkaban is my least favorite. I mean, it was,
and that's wild because that's what I typically see is everybody's favorite movie.
Is that the one where they have the gliding scene over the lake?
Yes.
Yeah, and Alfonso.
Big deal.
There's definitely some really powerful scenes in that movie, and I think they're really great. But I think it's just my general abhorrence for it. I just don't like.
I get you.
I don't like. That
I get that
he
took it a different direction than Chris Columbus was doing for the first two.
I think that's why.
And
it was cinematic
because I was looking for a classic and I didn't get it.
I like the ones that Chris Columbus did now because it was juvenile and it was young and it was hey, we're introducing you to this magic world, and then I liked what David Yates does at the end because it's wow, this is dark as fuck. Yeah. But in the middle there,
they really fucked.
I think they were trying to find out what they were going to do, and then just how different Prisoner of Azkaban is from the rest of them. And don't get me wrong, I still think it's a really great movie. I really do. But when it comes down to it, it
to the rest.
Yeah, it is my least favorite. Honestly.
Also, this is just the time when they forgot that scissors existed and they could cut people's hair.
God, A Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire,
and Goblet of Fire. Those two were horrible. Goblet of Fire
was so bad. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it was awful.
That was a really dark time.
My goodness.
Sorry, let's talk about the most...
Well, Ashley didn't get to say what her favorites were, you bitch.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead.
I think my favorite is still Chamber of Secrets.
Okay.
I like it.
It's a good story.
Even with the spider moments, I still
Aragog, my bitch.
I know.
Homie. Number one.
Not really. You can be Aragog for Halloween. I'll be the basilisk.
No, she can't be Aragog. You can't.
We'll all be different creatures, you know?
Chris is a Thestral and
I'll
I
be
just
creature.
see someone dying.
You-
Look at him.
Let me be Dobby.
Wait,
Please, my
rest in
dream.
peace.
I actually tried to be Dobby this past year for Halloween.
It's just gonna be hard to pull
It's
off.
too cold, you know?
Yeah.
True. You can't just wear a sock.
And then,
Your least fave.
see, I was gonna say Prisoner of Azkaban, but I think I'm gonna say Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one where Harry's like a little bitch, right?
That's the one.
No. She's thinking of Order of the Phoenix.
Okay, well
When
then
he's
Order of the Phoenix, because fuck Harry in that movie.
It's just so frustrating because like they didn't make him as because you're not getting his internal monologue.
yeah,
You don't
that's
get
what I was gonna
endearing.
say. Yeah, it just is like
You get like
Harry.
a 2-minute blip of like a nightmare he's having.
And he's having like night terrors like day in and day
like there's
out.
a lot happening inside his head, but you only see his
Yeah.
little mood swings.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They did not do a good job in that movie portraying
And like
that.
when
I
he's
agree.
wearing like a zip up, it's like it's hard to see. You know, it's like
not wrong.
he's having mood swings and he's wearing a zip up. Like it's hard
He's
to
essentially
sympathize.
wearing the same outfit in every movie. It's like a track jacket.
It's
and
them
a
trying to make him look young, but
Yeah.
meanwhile Daniel Radcliffe is not.
And then
aging.
they just decided in the epilogue that they were going to make them like gain all the years that they lost during the
Yeah,
movie.
they're
Like,
actually all 70.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before. They went back and they had to reshoot it. Like they did their final. What do they call it?
I don't know.
The last thing, the last
final
scene,
take,
like,
like?
The
yeah,
last
final
shot.
take. Like it was the last thing, and they thought they were done. Can you imagine saying goodbye to these people that you've literally spent your entire childhood with,
And you're like
and
crying.
then you had to get called back because they fucked up the makeup,
And then they still fucked up.
and then they still fucked it up.
How are they that?
Because I remember when they released the stills from the epilogue, like they got leaked. They didn't release them; they got leaked. And I remember the reactions on MuggleNet and stuff when we saw them, and they literally looked 62 years old.
Yeah.
And we were like, what kind
They
of
changed
epilogue
it.
is this going to be?
It's 29
And-
years later.
Yeah, seriously. And they ended up calling him back. And
Well, that's something that we
goodness.
wanted to talk about because my friend Rebecca asked for our last episode and we didn't get to this question, but what did we think of the epilogue? Because I know we just like briefly touched
you mean
on
like
it.
in the movie format or like just like as a whole? Like the
I guess
epilogue, like-
both. Like I know that your main complaint was that there wasn't enough for you, like the falling action, like
Yeah,
right
and I
in
mean
the
that
present.
doesn't
Yeah.
pertain really to the epilogue because like that's 19 years later, but like just like before that, getting like
More juicy bits.
more like what the fuck just happened right after this
Yeah.
huge war, because the war is literally like it's like second to last chapter or something like that, like or something really close, like. And
Something that I was very shocked about because I had seen the final movie before I had read them. I had no idea how quick it is that he takes Voldemort down. It's like it's like a paragraph, and in the movie, it's like they're bzzz for like a
They're
million
flying
years,
around, they're
which I
doing all
get
this
because
shit.
it has to be cinematic.
And I hate that they do that, and like that's actually one scene in the movies that like really peeved me too. One scene, oh my god,
When they-
really.
when they're fighting
Hold
at
on,
the
let me
end.
pull out my friggin' like Dead
Your
Sea Scrolls
Excel
over
sheet.
here. Like, yeah. So actually, the reason that J.K. Rowling wrote Voldemort's death in the books the way that she did, because remember they talk about seeing his dead body, his body lying lifeless on the ground. She wanted us to be like, wow, he's dead. He's
The
just
end
the
of an
same
era.
as
this is
everybody
just him.
else.
This
He's-
was the last piece of his soul. That's
look at
right
him,
here.
how weak,
like,
and he is dead, just like he died, just like anybody else would die. But then in the movie, they made it like
He like dissolved into thin
yeah,
air.
like
he was like
Where did he
paper.
go?
yeah. I
And he
think
was
they
burning.
wanted to make sure like we knew he wasn't coming back. But it's like, look, we read the books, we know.
Oh,
Like,
true.
You know what I mean?
I
But
guess they
it's-
really do have to
and-
hone that in.
Yeah, and I don't know. So that really did bother me because she did specifically write it that way for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of silly.
In terms of the naming of the children, how do you feel? Because I'm still pissed that there wasn't a Hagrid
Yeah.
vibe.
a
I'm
Rubius
with you
or
on that.
anything.
Yeah.
And James gets the shout out.
Like,
Name
really? Well,
I get that that's traditional.
Maybe
to
he's
name your
trying
kid
to be
after your
like,
dad.
I want to redeem this name,
Yeah.
like
maybe.
I don't know.
But Hagrid's still alive though. You have to remember that. So they were
Even more reason.
But Albus, Severus, and
I guess you're right.
and why James?
James.
They're dead.
Yeah.
You know.
I would have loved a Rubius, Remus,
Ooh.
Molly Arthur,
Dobby.
Dobby Potter.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is that one name?
Yeah.
Honestly,
That's actually what Stephanie Meyer intended.
Fucking Dobby. His name should have been Dobby because, like, honestly, or his middle name, something. Because, like, Dobby is dead, and
The
like,
real MVP. Oh.
and he.
What about fucking Hedwig? We should have had Snowy Hedwig, the Rubious Third, with a Dobby twist. That's a drink you order at a Hogwarts bar.
Yeah, I need to write this down. That's what we'll name her.
Basically, Harry made a lot of mistakes, so Harry, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
Yeah,
And your
definitely.
kids.
Yeah, I mean, they did it. Whatever.
I feel like that was just a very
J.K. Rowling
classic
do no
thing
wrong,
that people
okay?
were doing. They were like, hey,
Yeah.
we got Stephanie Meyer mixing all the names together. We got J.K. doing it.
Renesmee.
Oh, Renesmee.
We just have so much classicness happening.
Yeah.
All right,
My
so
next cat's gonna be like Squilila. You know?
let's talk about the most controversial character, Snape.
Ooh,
Because
Snape.
that's something we want to bring up too. We know our feelings because we talked about this on
We like
the
to
last
get
one.
an outside opinion.
Yes, exactly. So how do you feel about the old Snape-erino?
Well, we actually discussed this as well
We
last night.
just always discuss Harry Potter, like, honestly,
I get this.
100% of the time.
I still am like... I think we kind of feel the same way as you guys. Like... Well,
I
no,
don't feel
we
the
don't.
same
Mel's
way.
like,
We don't
absolutely
actually.
not.
I don't
No.
feel the same way as them.
We... Okay, I'll speak for myself in that.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
not
Yeah.
gonna hurt
That's
my feelings
probably for
at
the
all.
best.
Yeah.
I don't like Snape. I don't think he's great. I think the fact that he played both sides was, yeah, you know, it was to benefit,
Something.
I guess, people, but I don't know, you know, he just I don't know. It just rubs me. He just always rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, my problem with him is everybody calls him this big, great, brave character come the end of it. But the way that I see it is by him being a double agent, okay? And bear with me on this. By him being a double agent, you know, he was in the Order, but he was also a Death Eater as
Yeah.
far as they were, concerned and stuff. So he was sitting on the fence that entire time. And I'm not denying that. So how brave was he if at any point in time he could have chosen a side?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he doesn't really have to feel like, you know, if he's on the Order side, like, being in constant fear of, like, the Death Eaters coming to kill him. If he was a Death Eater,
Exactly,
being in constant fear of
he
the
was
Order
always
coming to
going
kill
to
him.
be protected because
everybody
either
thought he was
way.
on his side.
So
I get
that's
that.
something that like really did kind of irk me. Is it's like I get what you're saying because I mean I can't imagine how dangerous that is. But hadn't he already said that you know the only thing he ever wanted to do was avenge Lily or whatever? So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, did the Death Eaters know that? Like,
right,
did the Death
yeah.
Eaters know that
And
he
it's
loved
just,
her?
Yeah, the fact that he could, you know, tip either way. And also, he never called Voldemort. He always called him the Dark Lord, which is something that, a term that only the Death Eaters use. And so, I don't know, and him, you know, doing what he's done, and like, you know, if you think about it, he had known Lily, they'd been childhood friends and stuff, and he had known her for a while, but they stopped being friends almost as soon as they like got to Hogwarts, like a few years later.
That's
'cause
where
she
I
went
get rubbed the wrong
Gryffindor.
way. I'm like, you're not entitled to her
Yeah,
love.
he's not entitled to it.
To be honest.
I mean, especially he's
It
definitely
makes a good story, romantic.
Yeah,
and all
I
that.
know,
Yeah.
and I still appreciate the storyline. Trust me, like when he killed Dumbledore,
Yeah,
and when
yeah.
he gave Harry those memories, and Harry ran his little ass up to Dumbledore's office, I was sobbing.
I was shook when
Don't
I read
get
that.
me wrong.
Like,
I was sobbing because the movies weren't out yet. I did not know. So I remember reading that and like almost ripping the page because I was like, "What the fuck?" Trying to turn to the next one as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. So don't get me wrong.
You love the
Great.
twist.
I
Yeah.
loved it, but I will not
Defend
defend
him.
him.
I just think he took what he did to Harry too far. Like, I get
Yep.
he's trying to really become, like, hey, I'm not on your side, buddy. Like,
Yeah, he
a
physically
loose-
abused him on a couple
Yeah.
of different occasions. Physically abused a minor.
this
which,
book is just
who's
like...
already had a past
Yeah,
and
like-
caretaker.
This book is just a lot of people not seeing that Harry is not James. He's actually Harry.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
Sirius and Snape, it's like,
Yeah.
this is Harry, not
Definitely.
I feel like
James.
the only one who really got it was Remus. And then
Yep.
I feel like, do you guys feel how we feel where once they kind of put him with Tonks, it's like you don't get as much of like just, I don't know, I just feel like his character, it's like they almost became like one set.
Yeah.
And there wasn't as much like depth to them
Right.
at that point. And I miss like, I feel like the best parts of Remus were obviously when he was the professor. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think he was an was it with you guys or was it just me and Mal? I don't know. We were having a conversation about who we thought the best dark arts professor was.
Yeah.
And
it's
he
definitely Lupin.
Was.
He's
like,
definitely the best.
No, I think Lockhart.
Whoa!
I'm kidding.
We're getting divorced.
Oh man, what?
Yeah,
But
his
worst.
entire character, like, that was something that, because it's, like, early on, so, like, you're, you know, especially if you're reading it as, like, a young kid, like, you don't really understand, like, how dark it is that he can be, like, so manipulative,
Yeah.
and then he's also, like, a ladies' man.
He's the
It's
worst.
so
And then
gross.
poor Hermione fell into it.
I know, I was, like, low-key, I was like, Hermione, what are you doing?
Get it together.
But, like, I get it, we were all young and stupid at one
Yeah,
point.
and I think it was just to show us too, like, this is how handsome he is, that even Hermione is being tricked by him.
Yeah.
Like, no.
It was a stretch, but,
Yeah.
you know, we all...
Yeah. Jeez.
I was glad that we got closure with him when you see him, like, later on.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually really cool.
I kind of expected them to forget about him.
Yeah,
Because he's
I
not
definitely
dead,
did.
he's gone.
That's why I like the end of the series. You get a lot of
Closure.
characters that were at the beginning coming back, like him, and then Ollivander in Deathly Hallows. Like, I was like, wow, this is really
I
bringing
love
it
how
around.
key he was in it all, because
Yeah.
I think
And-
I would
yeah.
love to read an entire book about him and how he got into wand making and,
Oh, yeah.
like, all
Very
of the...
cool.
It's
Well, yeah, and he's old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff on Pottermore that's all about the cores and the woods and stuff like that, and we haven't read them yet, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that would make a fucking fantastic story.
Yeah,
Even
for
if they
sure.
just did, like, an entire book about wand making or
Because
whatever.
there's a lot of knowledge there.
Yeah.
Like, lots of layers.
Okay, this
for
is
sure.
this is a good question. What would you guys, if you could have one book made about another facet of this universe, what would be your number one book to be made? Like, my thing is, like, I want to see the founding of Hogwarts. The four founders and how everything happened.
Salazar, make me a salad, bitch. So... I still think I would love an entire book encyclopedia about, like, what's going on in that lake.
Speaking of encyclopedias, J.K. Rowling, if you're listening, we're waiting.
J.K. Rowling.
Not.
She has upset me. Because, you might know about this, Chris, because you've been, in it for a while. But,
In it.
But she had said that what's referred to, some of you may know, as the Scottish book, because she started having to refer to it as that, because she was just getting dragged alive every turn of events. So, she was supposed to write an encyclopedia that was, like, everything to do with, like, what happened after Hogwarts. It was going to fill in all of the blanks for us. And she drug us along and strung us out until 2012 when she officially said she's not doing it.
Oh my god, that's
What's
like
the reasoning?
Stephanie Meyer being like, I'm not giving you this book about Edward's perspective.
Right.
Like,
But
She actually did come out with an encyclopedia for Twilight, which is, like, sad.
yikes.
Like, did anyone
Yikes.
buy that? But
Yikes. But yeah, so that's, we're waiting.
granted, that universe is not as lit.
Not
I
as
want
fast.
J.K. Rowling to know that you can write as many books about this universe as you want. I will buy them all, and I
Yeah.
know you're already, like, the richest woman in England, but, like, I will make you even richer.
Let me add a few
Please.
dollars
Yeah,
on
let
that.
me add.
My God, please. But no, I would say, I think that's a really good idea, Chris. I think the founding of Hogwarts, I think that would be very cool because, they put a lot of the houses and stuff are put in this really big, positive light and stuff, but
Not all.
there's, right.
Yeah.
There's-
And maybe to see, like, how Slytherin was before, like,
Because
you
they
know.
were
Probably
friends. I mean,
Yeah.
they liked him enough to found a school
Yeah,
with him.
yeah.
Like, how do they hate Slytherin so much, but they let this guy start it all? Like,
Like,
what was
I'm
he
sure they
like?
knew
Well-
that he liked pureblood families before they made this school.
But here's the thing, too, though. How many more pureblood families were around back in old 1092?
I want one about the
were a
fucking
lot
original
more.
28 or whatever that is.
Yeah,
know
that's
what I'm
something
talking
that
about?
we read on Pottermore, that there's 28, like, pureblood
Oh,
families.
yeah.
Ooh.
So, but that's the thing is, like, so being all about purebloods and stuff and, like, being a blood status little shit probably wasn't as big of a deal then because a lot of people probably were purebloods still. But
Yeah,
once
I
we get
guess.
later on, and I don't know. Obviously, I don't know.
That's what I like about Fantastic Beasts, how they're diving into, like, people that, like, in America, like, you can't marry, a muggle and stuff like
Yeah.
that. A
Yeah.
nomad.
Nah.
I hate that.
I know, me too.
Oh, it's the worst.
And it's so perfect for us.
God. Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like we could have been like, you're a McDonald.
Honestly,
Yeah,
read all the stuff on Pottermore about magic in America, and it's like J.K. Rowling just dragging America
Oh,
for
it's
all of our
so
views.
funny.
Like,
Honestly, I mean, she's not wrong.
She probably
She's
wouldn't.
not
If we wouldn't
wrong,
have
but-
elected Donald freaking Trump as the president, she probably wouldn't drag us as much.
I can't wait for her
She's
to write a
ashamed.
book about Donald Trump being in this universe.
yeah.
I mean, she's got Johnny Depp. What else can she fucking do? You know?
You know, it's shocking.
Okay, so the story though you'd like to see
Yeah,
as a book
I think
or a series.
I think I'm going to agree with you for now. I would definitely say the founding would be very cool, and we can get those questions answered about Helga Hufflepuff.
Yeah, that's what. Okay,
her
sorry, I'm
bringing
cutting
in
you off.
the house elves.
But I have two answers. I would say it would be cool to see, because they talk about in Chamber of Secrets how Salazar, started being about purebloods and, like, we should be selective about who's allowed in the school. I'd like to see, like, focus on that, and also more about Hufflepuff and more about Ravenclaw. Like,
Yeah, Ravenclaw got robbed.
Yeah.
In depth.
Just the
Kind of
diadem.
stuff,
That was
because,
it.
Yeah. As a Hufflepuff, I just, am curious. I need to know more.
I want to
Yeah.
know old Sir Nicholas de Mimsy Porpington.
Yeah.
Where he at?
What's going on?
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened with the
to you?
ghosts? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
I want to
fucking
know about
great.
a lot of the ghosts. I want to know about the fat.
I want to know how
wanna
you
about
become
all
a
of them.
ghost and not, like, I know that they kind of explain it, but, like, I want more in depth, like, a ghost journey.
Yeah. I was telling Mal, I really like the stuff about Death Day.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
found that over.
yeah, that was really cool.
Man, I really love that shit.
It was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
I feel like they didn't get to utilize the ghosts that often until, like, the end with Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
They threw that
Yeah.
one in, but,
Yeah. And
And-
even that was,
it
minimal.
was... Yeah, because, like, I thought Ravenclaw was going to be even more important when they were talking about that Horcrux, and it's just kind of like, yeah, she lost this old tiara, and we found it. Like, that's kind of... But I love that they brought up that room. I love the room where everything is gone.
The room of requirement.
Yeah, but it's so sad that it's, like, gone. Like,
Yeah.
the room with all
With
of the missing
fiend
shit.
fire, yeah.
Yeah.
But when Harry saw the diadem,
Yeah.
or
Diadem?
whatever
Diadem?
sorry.
It's okay.
It's
You're
okay.
reading it, you're not
When
really saying it out loud.
went to go get rid of his book.
Yeah.
Half-Blood Prince.
I know.
Yeah.
Who
There it
would have
is.
known?
The old
In
rusty
that-
tiara.
In that big ass room, too.
There it was.
What are
I would
the
have loved to
fucking
go thrift
chances?
shopping in that room.
Jeez, I don't know.
Also want to see something about St. Mungo's, because
Yes.
to learn about magical medicine
Be a
would be
healer and stuff,
really
yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Or just the
very cool.
history of, like, when the Wizarding world stopped, like, wanting to help Muggles in that department. Like,
Yeah.
because I get that they were probably, like, crucified by Muggles and for having, like, the magical abilities. Like, when did they decide, like, hey, we have this medicine, like, fuck you guys, we're never gonna, like...
Think about it like this too, though. So they're not wizards and witches and stuff. They're not immortal, but you know how
They have different biological...
Yeah, but you know how in Half-Blood Prince, at the beginning of Half-Blood Prince, when we get that chapter about the other minister,
Yeah.
maybe they come and they meet with the Department of Health director.
I know, like, I
And
want
Yeah.
we don't
something
know,
like
and
that.
they're like, yeah, and they probably don't give them everything because the way that.
But there's also maladies that
Mm-hmm.
come with being, like, a wizard that a Muggle wouldn't have to deal with.
Yeah, exactly.
Certainly, absolutely, yeah,
And
for sure.
something I wanted you guys to just talk a little bit about was Harry Potter World in Florida, because you guys got to go and just to share your experience, and also, would you recommend this
Yes,
to Harry Potter
recommend
fans?
first
Go.
before we even get
Please
into
go.
it. We recommend it.
Oh my god.
Certainly.
I'm like tearing up just thinking about it. It was so...
It was amazing.
Would you say it was magical?
I would say it was
was
magical,
magical.
girl.
It was magical.
It was...
It was great.
What was the most cool,
What was your favorite
unexpected
part?
thing that happened?
Okay, where do I even begin?
Overwhelming.
I mean, okay, there's so much detail. Like, especially, I'm sure it's great, like, if you haven't read the books and you've only seen the movies, or if you haven't even seen the movies and you're just going. But there's so much details, like, in all the little windows of the shops. Even if you can't actually go into the shops, they have things that are moving. They have, like, interactive wands, which... are $60 and a waste of money in my opinion. Whatever. But that was cool just because seeing all the little stuff, like things that, especially because we went for 2 days, so we like split it up, so we had time to like walk around and just kind of like browse.
That's how I'd fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, like, fuck children, but seeing all the little kids, like, in their robes, like, using the interactive wands, and it was just, like, so cute, and I wish I could go back to that age and have read the books
And
do that. Yeah.
That's the time when you were just in school, and then when you were home, you could just be, like, totally sucked into this world, you know?
Yeah, the first time I went around the grand opening, when it first opened.
When was that?
In 2009.
Oh,
2009 already?
I believe. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2009, and it was just Hogsmeade at that time. And it was so crowded, and I was so upset, like, the whole time we were there, because it was just so busy. Of course it was so busy, and, like, that's what I expected, but at the same time, I couldn't do, like, hardly anything that I wanted to. My poor mother got sick on the first ride we got on and threw up everywhere.
Oh, God.
So it was a mess, but of course I still enjoyed it, and I literally sobbed the entire time.
I bet.
But then this next time we went, it was great because...
we picked, like, if you're gonna go... When did we go? Like mid-February?
Yeah,
February. Like Valentine's Day.
Yeah, beginning to mid-February was amazing. Before President's Day. And, I mean, it was great because it was crowded, but it was
doable.
We were able to
go
in
Florida, and it's not...
Yep.
It's not fucking
the
July.
weather was perfect.
Yeah, I was wearing cardigans, if that says anything. If you've been to Florida.
The weather was perfect. But yeah, we made it into every single store, every ride... The whole 9 yards. We, did everything we wanted. But my favorite part was definitely walking into Diagon Alley.
Oh my God, it was
amazing. Yeah. And I really liked the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah.
The Hogwarts Express was awesome.
Did you used to go on the train, or is it just like you see her?
No, you go on the train and you ride it in between.
Oh, right.
Universal Studios,
like a mode of transport.
Universal Studios and
they had the Trolley Witch,
Islands of Adventure. Yeah, she made an appearance. I don't want to give spoilers about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but that was like
it was cool.
It was cool. It was super sweet.
And out of all of the foods that you got to encounter, which was your favorite? Like, your treat.
The foods.
It's English pub food and stuff kind of stuff. So like fish and chips and
I had like a
shepherd's pie, but we don't eat that. So
or something.
Yeah, Ashley had like a chicken sandwich, and then
we did try hot butterbeer.
Oh yeah, I tried all the drinks
and frozen butterbeer.
Hot butterbeer, frozen butterbeer. I had the regular butterbeer.
Which way was butterbeer better?
The hot butterbeer was actually really good. It was just very
really
sweet.
Yeah,
really sweet.
The frozen one was good on the second day.
If they decided to throw a friggin' shot of espresso in that thing, my God, she would have been.
I like when I was reading the books, I imagined butterbeer to be warm, and so then when I heard them opening up with a frozen butterbeer, I was like, "What are you doing?"
But it makes sense because you're
also
hot.
Florida.
Yeah, no,
so,
I put that together afterwards, but then I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, because the first time when I went for the grand opening, they didn't have any of that. They simply had the regular butterbeer, like in the glass, so it was cold.
Okay.
Still, it wasn't hot; it was cold, and that was all they had. But this next time, we tried just about everything. I got that fishy green ale. It was disgusting.
Oh, God.
But I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would really like it. But it's like the bubble tea.
If you like toothpaste.
Ashley told me, she tried it and was like, oh, that tastes like toothpaste. And then I literally
Did you get a pumpkin pasty?
No, we didn't. And that's because when we were in Honeydukes and stuff, we were getting so much. And... I don't know, we were
you
just
don't want to get like a million cavities while you're here.
Oh, the food that you guys showed us the photos of the food.
Oh, it was amazing, yeah. We took pictures of it. But yeah, and it was like, I wasn't in the mood for it at the time, and I'm like, I don't want to carry it around and smash it, because we were like still doing stuff.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't something I wanted to like shove in a locker before we got on the ride.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we didn't try any of that stuff. Alright, I guess we gotta go back, so...
I think
all four of us should fucking go
honestly,
again.
we're aiming... I want to go next February.
You use that scratcher bench.
If we can, next February, I want to go.
Alright, we'll have a Coffee with Crachel meet up in Hogsmeade.
Hold us to it.
Oh my God.
Honestly,
that sounds fantastic. I think now would be a good time to go to quizzes and questions.
Alright, but first, a word from our binge bunch.
Today's episode is brought to you by BioClarity. So if you guys didn't know, I don't exactly have the greatest skin on the planet. I get breakouts all the time, and I'm always trying to find different products that are going to help soothe those breakouts. And so we got the chance to try out BioClarity, and it's a 3-step process that has honestly really worked for me. My skin has been extremely clear, and the redness has gone down. And overall, I just don't get as many breakouts as I used to. And the main reason why this has been helping me so much is because of the acne treatment. It uses the strongest concentration of salicylic acid, and they also have this new ingredient called Floralux, which is actually from plants and chlorophyll, so it goes on green on your face. One of my favorite parts of this, though, is that BioClarity is 100% vegan, it's cruelty-free, gluten-free, and paraben-free. So if any of you guys are having a little bit of trouble with your skin, I definitely recommend BioClarity, and we have a special offer for you guys if you want to get started with it. If you go to bioclarity.com and use code COFFEE, you'll get your first month for $9.95 plus free shipping, which is a $20 saving off of the regular monthly purchase. And it's a 100% risk-free trial, so if your skin doesn't react well or if you just aren't liking the product, you can get your money back guaranteed. So again, just go to bioclarity.com and use code COFFEE.
All right, so we've got a quiz here from our Lord and Savior, BuzzFeed.com. Now, I feel like everybody loves to know what everybody's Patronus is. And first of all, my Pottermore one is a great gray owl.
Mine's a ginger cat.
Yeah, what are yours, guys?
I'm a borzoi.
Mine is
What's a borzoi?
It's one of those long-haired gray owls.
Oh my God.
It is
Oh
me.
my God.
It is me.
Mine is a Tonkinese. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Tonkinese cat.
Okay, so a cat at least.
Okay.
A cat, yeah.
All
All right, so we're starting this quiz off. Do you guys all have it up and loaded?
Yep.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, so the first question here is, what's your Hogwarts house?
We all know our answer to that one.
Slith.
Hufflepuff.
Raven.
Gryffindor.
Okay. Pick a color. You got black, silver, gold, bronze, pine green, and lime green.
Ooh, we going
I already
pine
know what
green.
Rachel's
Yeah, I'm going pine green as well. What do you guys
I'm
think?
gonna go black.
Okay.
I'm going pine green.
All right.
All day.
So this is, what's your favorite Harry Potter book? I'm picking Order of the Phoenix.
Half-Blood Prince. Oh my god, they put Cursed Child on here?
Who dare?
Who picks that one?
Who
I
dare?
blocked that out. I'm just kidding, I still haven't even read it yet.
Yeah.
Oops, I think I just accidentally voted on something.
Oh shit.
Shit.
And I, of course, chose Half-Blood Prince.
Oh my god, you guys don't know what to choose.
Oh
Close
my
your eyes
god.
and- Close your eyes and point.
That would be
As
hard.
long as it's not Cursed Child.
Oh my god.
I chose Order of the Phoenix.
It closes
Ooh.
out. It closes out.
Okay. What would be your job at the ministry? You got Department of Magical Games and Sports, Department of Magical Law Enforcement, Department of International Magical Cooperation, Misuse of Muggle Artifacts, Minister of Magic, Order Office, Wizengamot Wizard High Court, Department of Mysteries, and Department of Magical Education.
They don't even have Hermione's department on here, and I was going to choose that because, of course.
Yeah. In case you guys didn't know, Mal's favorite character is obviously Hermione.
I don't know if you guys caught on to that.
My hero.
No, I don't think anybody got that. I'm gonna pick the High Court.
Whoa, that doesn't seem
Yeah.
like you at all. Where's wizarding weather, honestly? I feel like I'm gonna pick misuse of Muggle artifacts, because I feel like that'd be just
God damn
fun.
it, Rachel.
I'm sorry, we're very similar.
Okay, my second choice was going to be Department of Magical Education. Just
Okay,
because,
that was my second choice, too.
education is really important.
I chose Minister of Magic.
Okay.
Of course you fucking
Okay.
did.
What is your favorite shop? Quality Quidditch supplies, Honeydukes, Elope's Owl Emporium.
I just have to say, I love the photo of Ron that they chose for
with,
that one.
with the whole pig widget.
It's a mess.
there.
That hair.
That's so cute, though.
Flourish and Blots, Madame Malkin's, The Leaky Cauldron, Weasley Wizard Wheezes, Gringotts, and Ollivander's
The
Wands.
Leaky Cauldron's a freaking
A
restaurant.
dive. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a restaurant.
Okay, I'm going to be real with you guys. I chose Honeydukes.
I was going for Honeydukes as well.
Listen,
Y'all are
that's
crazy.
Sweet Tooth.
It's like
Yeah.
I want to pick the owl because I feel like that's me, but at the same time, I feel like the wand shop is where I'm really at, so I'm picking
You
that.
only need one wand.
It would be cool to talk to him and pick his brain, Mal. Okay? I want to have Ollivander on this fucking podcast, but...
All right, I chose Flourish and Blots.
the old flourish.
What magical creature are you? Acromantula,
I don't
troll,
appreciate that picture.
dragon, centaur, mermaid, hippogriff, leprechaun, thestral, and basilisk.
Okay, Loki, I don't remember this leprechaun at all. Like, I'm
that's
sorry.
during
It's
the-
from the World Cup.
Yeah, Quidditch World Cup.
Okay.
Where were the...
I don't know why they put leprechaun here because that's barely a part of
Quite
like,
interesting.
They had so many other guys. I'm gonna pick the basilisk. Basilisk.
the basket. All
Say
right.
in this.
I got the thestral.
That is you.
Yeah. I'm gonna cosplay as one for Halloween.
Hippogriff, y'all.
That's
You
Squeezy.
know, I'm gonna go for the centaur.
Ooh,
All
classy.
right. What broomstick do you own? Clean Sweep 5, 6, or 7, Shooting Star, Comet 260, Firebolt, Silver Arrow, Nimbus 2000, Nimbus 2001.
Obviously, Nimb.
I'd be a
201.
chaser, so I don't want something too
my
fast.
God.
Because I don't
Also,
want
yeah,
I don't
what
want
would
to
you be?
outstrip
I'd
my,
be in the
my
stands.
teammates. I would definitely be a chaser.
Beat
So
the
I'm going to go
popcorn.
with the old Nimbus 01.
Nimbus
Timbus.
2001.
I love Timbus.
Yeah, the old Nimbus 01.
I'm just gonna pick a Firebolt because I want to pick like the coolest one.
Well, fine then. Maybe I do too.
This is a competition.
Easily swayed.
No, Nimbus
We're actually gonna
2001.
race after this.
Oh shit!
I think I'm gonna go for Silver Arrow.
What?
I've never heard of it, but
It's not a broom.
Okay.
she sounds great.
Okay.
What pet would you bring to Hogwarts? We got Snowy Owl, Barn Owl, Screech Owl, Squeezy,
That's yeah.
Burrowing Owl, White Cat, Black Cat, Tabby Cat, Frog, and a Toad, which just Neville.
that tabby cat looks like our cat.
It
Minnie.
really does.
So-
we'll definitely tweet out the link to this.
But
quiz.
she's already at Hogwarts, so we don't need to bring her.
Okay.
She's already there.
All right.
I'm gonna go with I want to bring an owl,
I know.
but
But
which one?
If one of you brought an owl, I wouldn't need to bring one. I could just
Oh
borrow
my
yours.
god, I'm not gonna be in class with you now, honestly.
Wow.
We're not in the
well,
same house.
Fuck all of you. I'm choosing a Toad because Neville is in the picture. I love
The
Neville.
Slytherins
I'm
have
gonna
at
pick
least-
the barn owl.
I either want to pick a Snowy Owl because I love Hedwig and she needs justice, or a White Cat because I would bring Lila. So I'm gonna say a White Cat.
I'm gonna go with Snowy Owl.
Snowy Owl.
Snowy owl. Okay.
Oh shit, what
here
position
we
would
go.
you play in Quidditch?
Y'all already know.
Ooh, beater.
Rachel, go
Beat
away.
Bobby Flay.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna be a keeper.
Okay.
Oh,
Why? But
I like it.
You know,
I'm keeping you guessing. That's for
I think
sure.
I'm gonna go for Chaser.
Ooh.
Oh, Shleya, be my teammate. Oh wait, you're in Hufflepuff. You can't.
I'll be a seeker.
Nice.
Because he's seeking the truth.
You got those
Yeah.
glasses. Put them to use.
All right. Pick a sport: figure skating, hockey, golf, soccer, basketball.
I love these
None of the
as
above.
they relate to Harry
None
Potter.
of the above. But
I'm gonna go with figure skating because I like the outfits.
okay.
Soccer.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with golf because I like that ball.
I'm going with golf as well.
That nice textured ball.
Those divots.
Okay.
Oh, weird.
Pick an emoji, but I'm not going to describe them all. Just describe which one you picked.
That is so
Upside down smiley is always me. I don't care.
Okay. I don't know why they picked this weird ass like.
That's got to be an android.
Yeah.
It's not. We have the same emojis. Y'all.
Are you sure? I don't
With their
think so.
slightly tweaked mouth.
Oh my
Slightly.
God. HD emojis.
I'm going with the shit face.
I'm going with
I'm
the fire.
going with Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah,
Okay.
smirking Rosie. Choose a professor. Remus
Ooh.
Lupin, Amicus Carrow. Who the fuck's gonna
Who
pick
would
him?
dare?
Rubius Hagrid, Minerva McGonagall, Severus Snaperini, Pomona Sprout, Sybil Trelawney, Phileas Flitwick, and Professor Binns.
I have to
who's,
say, like,
gone at
this latest read through, I love Trelawney much more
I
than I
was
have
just
ever.
about to say that.
Yeah, she's
I love her.
fantastic now.
She gives me the whole, like, you've been gaslighted your whole life vibe.
Yeah.
Nobody validates you.
As a professor, though, I'm stuck between Lupin and McGonagall.
I'm picking the old loop.
I chose Professor McGonagall for obvious
I'm
reasons.
choosing Sprout because, you know, Hufflepuff's gotta stick together.
True. Also,
what I'm saying.
plants. You love them.
Also, I do love plants.
I'm
You're
gonna
not
go with the
wrong.
old Loop.
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 A fiasco.
This next question.
Who will you take to the Yule Ball? Victor Crumb, who's constipated always, Pavarti Patil, Hannah Abbott, Neville Longbottom, Pansy fucking Parkinson, Minerva McGonagall, Cedric Diggory, Dean Thomas, or Amicus Carroll.
What?
Why do they put him in here?
Trolls.
Oof.
Honestly,
There's not
I'm
anyone
taking
here.
McGonagall. Honestly, I would love to go with McGonagall.
can pick the
We
same.
can't both go with
Yeah,
her.
we can.
All right.
Share.
Sounds fun. Wow,
If I had
that
to
would be
really
fun.
choose, I would go with Nagini. It would be difficult, but I would make it work.
Wow.
Would
Do the
you-
box step with Nagini, you
Would
know?
you write on the back?
You know, slide to the left, she's really good at that.
The electric slide, you got that down?
But for real, I feel like I'm gonna pick, obviously, Cedric Diggory because
I-
there's not enough hot ladies on this quiz.
Honestly.
I
you're
love how
not
Hannah
wrong.
Abbott, they couldn't even find, like, a picture of her from the movies because, you know, what? Like, it's literally,
Why?
Who is she?
like, what in the heck?
I am going for the old Dean Thomas.
Oh, how to get away with murder. All right.
Did you guys get your answer?
Yeah, I got my answer.
Oh.
Mine's...
Mal's gonna be very mad with me. I've got Hermione's otter.
Ooh, that's deep.
Well...
If you could all see the tension...
This friendship is over.
There was a lot of friction that just happened.
Mallory just
I need to change one of my answers. I gotta go back.
Mallory left. Mine is the Swan, which is the old Cho Chang's Patroni.
Okay.
So that's
I got a boar.
It's too late.
Ooh.
I can't
Classic
change
voice.
any of my answers. I got a wolf.
Whoa, wolf.
Wow.
That tells a lot.
And I won't say whose it is. Y'all can figure it out yourselves, because I'm not going to tell
Lupin's?
you. I'm embarrassed. No. It's not.
No, that would be too obvious, Chris. By the way, when I was reading it, I was very excited to find out everybody's Patroni, and I was very, loved Hermione's. It's so perfect.
You know why, right?
Because they hold hands for life or whatever, and they float.
That's not why, but that's so sweet.
Because she's like that.
No,
She's loyal.
because weasels chase otters. And remember...
Wait.
Yeah, I know! And they are otters.
God.
And also, and then in the movies, Ron's was a
The dog.
Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
Which also chased things.
Yeah.
But...
But do they chase otters?
I get that dog vibe
His
that they were
could have
going
been
for.
I don't know. Something I don't like a pigeon.
I don't know. I'm really questioning this boar thing.
I kind of see it. I'm just kidding. To be fair, I did get bored when I took the first Pottermore Patronus quiz.
Also, to be honest, I've taken the Patronus quiz quite a few times.
Do you know how
in
many
my life.
emails I've made just to retake
Same.
it? It keeps
Literally
sorting me into
same.
Gryffindor, and I'm like, you guys don't know how I literally won't even accept. I'll accept food that's wrong. I'm not courageous.
I feel you
It's
on
not
that.
courage.
You know,
It's cowardice.
sometimes you just gotta be presented with those situations, Rachel. Like, old Neville, nobody would have ever placed him in Gryffindor until he really...
How do you feel about him possibly being, the chosen one? I loved that part being explained.
Interesting. Just because I liked any time attention was drawn to Neville, because I think he is an underrated character.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, amazing.
He's one of my favorites because it just everything that he's had to go through.
His arc.
I'm gonna bring this in because this is actually one of the Patreon questions that we
Perfect.
have from Rebecca, and I'm just gonna read through what they have to say, and it relates to all of this.
Perfect.
They said, what are your thoughts on Neville being the chosen one instead of Harry? Because, that's how the prophecy could have been. And they said, in, bullet points, his parents are alive, but they aren't all there. In my opinion, that's worse than having dead parents. And also, he faces his fear every day for 10 months out of the year for 7 years. Shitty Severus Snape. Every day he goes to potions class, even though he's terrified of Snape and knows he'll be verbally abused at the very least.
I forgot that that's his Bogart.
Still, he persists, keeps working, even though he could so easily quit. He's much better than Harry when it comes to this. These are just a few things that I think about, and I hate that in the movies they make Neville this sad little kid when he's so much more.
Yeah, they don't really
So,
elaborate on that enough.
If Neville was the chosen one, let me throw this
Wait,
one
let
at
me
you.
let me talk first because you're going to be really negative about Neville. And I don't like that.
I'm not going to be negative about Neville.
No, just choose happiness first, and then get your crystal, and we'll talk.
Oh, fuck.
Neville is without a doubt my favorite character, and you can fight me on that if you want to.
Oh, shit, we never even said just, what's your favorite character in the whole series. Fuck.
Okay, guys, my favorite character is Neville.
Okay. A noble choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna get his wand tattooed on me.
Okay.
I thought you were
It's
gonna
possible.
get his wand, if you know what I mean. It's pretty lit.
And here's my opinion. I don't think he should have been the chosen one. Because Mallory and I talked about this too, as we do about Harry Potter all the time.
Was this also last night?
This was actually driving to get you guys today.
Okay.
But I don't think he would have done well in Harry's position just because they said he's portrayed as a sad little kid, and I think he is a sad little kid. He does have that arc, he becomes very strong and strong-willed, but I don't know if he could have done as, quote, well as Harry did.
Harry had more confidence,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
helped him to think on his feet.
Well, and like Mallory was saying, because we were having a discussion, strong
argument.
discussion, and she was just saying, Neville was never really that great at magic, and I didn't really consider that.
He's
So-
Not
fantastic.
good at defense spells, I mean.
Yeah.
He's fantastic with herbology, and
Which,
that's
I mean,
his
let's
spot.
be real. Harry, he's got the Patronus thing going, he's got that Expelliarmus thing down, but what else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really flopped at
Here's
potions
the
at times.
thing, so I'll go ahead and just
Spill the tea
Dive
now.
into
tell
it.
you this. Neville wouldn't have been, because the reason that Harry made it as far as he did and he was the boy who lived was because his mom died to protect him. Neville's mom would have never had to have been killed to protect him, because her and his dad, Frank, were incapacitated. Neville would be dead
Yeah, he
had he
wouldn't
been
have
the
protection.
chosen one. He would have been killed. He wouldn't have had the protection. So
Yeah.
Unless the
Neville
toad
can't be.
casted a little spell. 'Cause
Yeah.
that could have been cool.
yeah, Trevor. You know,
Yeah,
Could have
exactly.
been a really
There when you
different
need
story.
'em.
Something that I just remembered that I wanted to bring up earlier is, so remember early on when I was talking about how I just fucked with scabbers so hard? You know, I just
Oh.
loved
Rachel,
the
it-
old scab.
pained me
It-
every
I-
time.
We were
it
all
pained me
itching.
too. It was just like,
And then when he transformed in the movie and you saw how nasty Peter Pettigrew was, I bet you were
God.
like, did you scream?
that was good casting. on
I
their
was
part.
just,
I know.
yeah. The casting on pretty much everyone was perfect, in my
yeah,
opinion.
I really liked
Pretty
the
good.
casting.
Yeah.
I would say the weakest casting was the trio, probably.
in some aspects.
in
In
like,
some aspects.
in
it's
some
like
aspects.
small minor details.
Just because,
Yeah.
like, Rupert Grint is not as tall as
Yeah.
described. You know, he's
But,
a
like,
little
I'm not
stockier.
He
and
ends
not
up
as tall.
being taller though towards the end.
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
definitely in
yeah,
the beginning no, because he definitely does end up. Also, Dean Thomas.
He's just like a
You were
chipper
tall
young
man.
boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think casting. I don't know, personality.
I think Dobby was great. Whoever they got to play Dobby,
Yeah.
CGI.
Recipe.
Dobby.
Yeah, you guys hated me because I was like so anti-Dobby, and
Rachel,
I knew
honestly.
that I would get to the point. And
Did
I
you?
I did know, but I was enjoying hating on him because I always hate on.
You called him the Jar Jar of Harry Potter. That is
If you
sick.
think about it,
That is sick.
That is a
That
compliment.
is sick. Don't ever say that.
first of all, Jar Jar Binks is what?
Underrated.
Yeah, and
The real star.
a gift to cinema. A gift. Okay. Second, who is the Jar Jar of the franchise? Now that we've all been there, I'm gonna say
Gromp.
Gromp.
Oh yeah.
Gromp,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
So right. Yo,
Yeah.
fucking, she's getting bold and brash over here. Minerva, she's transforming.
All right, let's do the next question. This is from Josie, who said, if you guys had a potion of amortentia, what would it smell like to you?
Oh my
That's the
gosh.
one where
That's
it
the
smells...
one where it smells like what you want,
So
Yes.
or what attracts you.
number one, cilantro. I love cilantro.
Trash.
I
I
would
just
smell
Trash.
My
Trash,
nips, my nips right now.
Cilantro's,
That's
that's the
disgusting.
first thing that comes to mind. I love that smell,
Oh,
actually.
it's so zingy and
I
bright.
love it.
Get it in
No,
my
And when-
I'm with
when
you,
I-
Ashley. I'm not here for it.
Fuck
Chris
you
are
guys
leaving.
and your basic ass palettes.
Yeah.
You guys are the naked basics of the palette. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly.
Yo, mine would be
Is that
like
it?
freshly brewed coffee,
That's part of
Ooh,
mine.
That's a good answer.
Coffee
know.
beans.
coffee, cilantro. I'm not gonna lie, lemon zest. Not all together, obviously.
Well, she describes like a
It
couple of
doesn't have
different
It's like
things
it's
that
just
like...
like in waves. I imagine it's just like all together. You know?
Yeah.
And my last one would be like burnt wood that they just like stamped out. You know what I mean? Like when someone stamped out
my
a
God.
fire.
You're really churning the butter in my brain right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
I would say like add like coffee, chocolate, and like just being in a forest, you know?
Just
like
the aroma of the forest.
The aroma of the
Shit.
forest. Like that
You
would
guys'
be
answers are so much better than what I'm thinking of.
My nose is just sensitive.
I think
Yeah, I would have to have a better sense of smell for this to work on me.
Yeah.
His nose is so big but so weak.
okay. Mine's gonna be donuts. Fresh donuts.
Oh,
Sue
that
me.
bakery fucking smell.
Ugh.
Oh, wait, I just thought of my second one.
Freshly mowed grass, and yes, Mallory, I know that's
Hermione.
Hermione's.
One of Hermione's.
One of Hermione's. Also, isn't her favorite food toast?
That's Emma Watson's favorite
Oh,
food.
okay.
Back in the
Yeah.
day, I
It's
don't know
all
what
the
it is
same.
now. But it used to
Doesn't
be.
change,
It
I
used
heard.
to be
And ooh, I think.
How about a book? You know, like I could also have like a fresh
a nice
book.
old book.
Oh, that's a good one. Libraries.
Freshly
Yeah.
opened
Libraries.
books.
Yeah.
I think my next one, I really like the smell of a Subway. the restaurant, like the.
Oh,
I know you guys don't, but
wait,
I never.
You're serious?
I'm serious. I never worked there. My best friend Katie worked there.
I have to get off this show now.
I remember.
I'm
I
logging
love that smell of what is it? Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
It's
Don't
that
make
fucking
me.
yoga mat
Is it
bread.
that bread? Yoga mat bread. I love it.
It's the sweaty meat.
No, it's
not
the bread.
the meat. It's the bread.
fucking bread.
I know it's not the meat. It's definitely the bread,
It's
and
the
I love that
flatizza.
smell. And I remember when Katie used to come home.
The flatizza.
I love that smell.
Like, get back to me after you've had a part-time job there and your
I will,
entire
and
house
I'm sure-
smells like her.
Do you know where my first job was? I won't mention it on the podcast, but we can talk about it later. It was
Ooh,
also
guys, you
in a
guys are missing
smelly,
out.
Had an aroma?
in a smelly place.
Okay.
Smelly smell.
You know, so I feel you.
I think mine became because I worked at Starbucks and I already liked coffee, so I didn't mind smelling like coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not a bad
fair
scent.
enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the next question from Annie, who said the film's obviously left out a lot, but do you have a favorite and least favorite add-in scene?
Ooh, additional.
I would say my least favorite would be the destruction of the burrow. I get the point now that you described, like, why that's there, but they could have done that in any other fucking way, because, like, destroy literally any other building that exists in this universe besides the castle, because, like, the burrow exists still later on. Like, you could do that with anything else.
I liked the beginning of the Deathly Hallows Part 1, I believe, where they're showing the Death Eaters, like, zooming and grooving and, like, just wreaking havoc, because it really kind of sets the tone for, like, yo, they're, like, almost in power right now, and they're fucking it all up, and that's not really,
In the Muggle
like,
world?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
like, their way of showing it, instead of, like, when you're reading it, you're getting, like, the headlines
the
of it
news,
all,
yeah.
which I loved. I just know it's hard for them to do that. Like,
Yeah.
in Fantastic Beasts, when they tried to show all that Grindelwald stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't have time to read this, I'm in a movie theater.
And I know,
Like, what?
my favorite add-in would probably be the, just like, not a specific scene, but the comedy they added into the Half-Blood Prince.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With, like, the pins are clicking and the
And also,
scaring
like-
Professor Slughorn.
Yeah, exactly. That was just, like, really subtle
So,
but good.
My favorite add-in scene came later, and, you know, being a Ron and Hermione shipper, you may be surprised to hear this one, but I actually really love the dance scene in the tent after Ron left with Harry and Hermione.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
love that.
Because that, and so many people saw that as
romantic.
Oh yeah, it's romantic. No, they are best friends, and
They're just trying to comfort each other.
And both of their best friend just left in a huff and a puff, and it was all a big misunderstanding.
And she's upset, and he's upset.
And that is the only time in all of the movies that they play a song that actually has lyrics. Old Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Oh Children. It's actually a really good song if you guys want to look it up. He's a good artist. But yeah, I thought that was amazing, and I cry every time I see it.
I don't ship them romantically. I just
don't
love them
I
as
never
amazing
do
friends.
ever, but I couldn't see how people that only watch the movies
Would say that.
would
And they
ship
probably-
them.
Look, they did
I
it on
probably
purpose.
did.
Yeah,
Of course
they
did.
definitely did that to, like, give you that shitty
But-
love triangle
But
bullshit.
for me, like, I actually really liked that scene, and I made it what I wanted it to be.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
if that
I
wasn't why I
enjoyed
was
it,
there,
too. Yeah.
I really loved it because
And
it showed the dimension of, like, look, this could be, but it's not going to be, because that's not the relationship that they have.
And I love Daniel Radcliffe just doing his stupid shitty dancing,
Yeah.
like his absurd
shit.
gestures.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, you know, that was
Yeah.
that was a really good scene. I really liked that. And then added scene, I hated the entire dynamic of Ron and Hermione's relationship in Half-Blood Prince movie. Oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
the worst. They made it seem like she was pining after him, which of course they've been pining after each other for years.
Just, like,
But it was
secretly
more
internal.
They made it
was
so
more-
obvious, and that wasn't the case.
It came across extremely mature, too,
and-
for them.
Yeah, and that was not the case at all. Like, it was definitely pretty, like, it was both sides, you know. She would give him a little, he would give her a little, and then it would just be a huge misunderstanding. But I think they really did a bad job portraying that in the movie.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Really
remember
bad.
when I had only watched the movies, and I was like, why the fuck do people think they're so great together?
God,
They
they did
honestly
such a bad
are
job.
flops.
Such a bad job with them. And I mean, it could have had something to do with Rupert and Emma's compatibility, too.
Well, I still think Bonnie Wright and fucking
Oh,
Daniel
that-
must have
Oh my
had
God.
I
like a
redact
four-
my original
Tragic.
statement. My least favorite addition is the zip me up.
Yes.
no,
My asshole fell off.
no, I hated their kiss, which you guys talked about in the last time, so we probably shouldn't.
Their
you know,
shitty little pecorino.
God, what the heck? And then you remember reading about the one. Why couldn't they do it after the Quidditch game? Like,
I know, because that was such a good moment.
That was awesome. You know, he locks eyes with her from across the Gryffindor common room, and they just meet in the middle. And meanwhile, Ron's like, "What the heck is going on?"
Something I just remembered is, like, I like the way that they had Ron and Hermione's kiss in the movies more.
Okay, that's what I was going to say is my favorite.
Yeah.
I like that they showed them down in the chamber in Deathly Hallows. I really like that they
that was
added
a great ad.
That was probably my favorite.
Because I didn't like that Harry was like, "Come on, guys, we've got a war to fight here." Like,
yeah, but think about it, though.
I get it.
Harry's been, like, along in this...
He's busy.
You know,
and he gave up Ginny for, like, almost, like, a few years.
Well, but he's been in this mess with Ron and Hermione forever. He knew they were going to end up together before they even did. So he's like, all right, whatever. Like,
let's go.
We knew this was going to happen. Come on.
I think it was a cuter moment in the movie, but, like, it's also, like... It makes sense the way that they wrote it as well.
Yeah, certainly. I agree.
But I didn't mind it.
I thought it was really sweet. Yeah, I agree.
Alright, so whoa.
Any least favorite, like, addition?
That's, like I said, the whole dynamic with Ron and Hermione, the way that they did that was so
good. That.
Okay.
Alright, so next question is, what are your thoughts on people shipping Draco and Harry?
Dreary.
Well,
is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Don't act like you didn't know.
What was it? Harko would be the other way around.
Like... Harko?
Harko.
Hark, who goes there? Let's be honest. Do they even have that many talking scenes? I don't know.
Is Draco actually around as much as you think he is?
I honestly think Draco's asexual. I just don't think he's just not even interested, I feel.
It's not his thing. Yeah, maybe.
I don't ship it at all whatsoever.
Nope.
Never.
And also people like him with Hermione as well. And I think that's just more of like...
Don't even get me started.
I know.
Don't even get me fucking started.
I'm not into it. I can see where people are like, oh, it's like the bad... You know, the people that hate each other usually.
No, I can't even see it that way.
But I can't even...
Like...
That's not even true.
This is Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's not true. No.
Get your shit together.
Hermione cannot stoop down to that level.
That's what I was going to say. If you knew her character at all, she would never... She punched him in the face.
I know.
He called her a mudblood.
Like a slur,
yeah, who else does Hermione punch in the face? There were plenty of times she could have punched Umbridge.
I would have punched... Oh, she slapped Ron, and, like, thank God.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. But, I mean, honestly. But she hated Draco so much, she punched him. So, stop it.
Stop. No to
Enough.
This. Also, the same person asked, how did that boa wink if they don't have eyelids?
This is obviously from the movie, the first movie.
There's also the people that think that the boa in the tank is actually Nagini.
Delete everything. Leave.
I need to rewatch it and be like, let's get like some screen captures of like Nagini and the tank.
Yeah, and then you're gonna see they look completely different.
I need to see it.
Yeah, that one in the tank is a lot thinner than Nagini.
Yeah, way smaller.
Hey, Nagini before she got to be like robust and eating like everyone.
Yeah, but she's also feeding Voldemort from her teats. So.
From her teats.
From her teats.
She is.
Nagini
Do you guys not
teats.
remember that?
No, I remember that.
Okay.
I
never forget. I can't forget. You missed it?
I legit missed that. Oh,
you really did? Yeah, no, like, Nagini was feeding Voldemort, from...
Whoa.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Voldemort was breastfed.
By a
That's the title right there.
Voldemort was breastfed.
The next question was, what are your guys' opinions on Peeves?
Ooh, he didn't peeve me as much as I thought.
You know, I'm so blessed, grateful that he was not in the movies because
he's a Jar Jar of freaking Harry Potter.
Yo.
So true, because I played a Harry Potter computer game way back in the day on my PC, and Peeves was in it. He was a star, and I fucking hated him. He was such a little dick.
I just remember being like, this isn't funny, shut up and go away. I like Mrs. Norris.
I just wanted to, like, slap him.
I did like how Peeves, though, would listen to, like, Professor McGonagall and stuff.
Yeah,
so, like,
and the Bloody Baron.
I thought, the Bloody Baron, he's, like, terrified of him. But, yeah, no, it was definitely pretty, he
could have lived without the Peever.
Yeah, he drove me nuts. It's okay, they left him out. But, I mean, him, though, in the final battle, though.
Yeah,
like, that's pretty funny.
And him terrorizing Umbridge as well.
Yeah, like, terrorizing Umbridge. And him being, like, buddies with Fred and George, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed that aspect.
But yeah, other than that, he annoyed me.
I don't know why I stand him like so much on my first read through. Like
his fucking iPhone is named Peeves,
and it's just because that name like keeps it won't go away. Like every time I plug in a new
iCloud or something.
Yeah, like how do you change that?
I don't know. Steve Jobs was like, "Bitch, this is my dying wish for you."
You name one device.
Peeves will live on.
Another question is, why didn't Voldemort or other enemies use owls to track people? maybe the owls were like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Maybe the owl... I mean, I would believe that because Hedwig had clearly a personality and a loyalty. And maybe the owls were like, you guys are bad. I'm just going to stay in my lane, deliver some mail, and leave.
Yeah, but a lot
also,
of
the ministry would be monitoring.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But what about when they were basically running the ministry?
Well, but at the same time, though, almost everybody had protective enchantments around their homes and stuff like that. Yeah. So
I want the one where you can whisper a little bit and then nobody can hear what you're fucking talking about, because that would be great.
The muffalado, one that like makes like the buzzing noise or whatever. Yeah.
I would absolutely love that.
That'd be pretty cool.
I want to ask, like, what is like, I don't know how exactly to phrase this, but like your favorite like magical, like, I don't know, like nuance or like
small. I get what you mean.
The way
like owls
works.
Delivering the mail, for example.
Because what I was gonna say is like I think it was just like fantastic that he who must not be named actually turned into like you cannot say his name because you will get caught. Yeah. Like, I thought that was brilliant.
Because the whole time I was like, you guys are such little weak bitches.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit.
You actually can't say his name.
Google search on that term.
Yeah, so...
Or just like, think about the magical world.
Oh, that like we obviously couldn't have.
Yeah, that you just really thought was clever or you really enjoy.
I mean, I do love a nice splinch. And I personally love that Ron got split.
Yikes! But it made Hermione so sad.
You know, we got it sacrificed. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Character development, you know?
Jeez.
It was really fucked up, though, in the movie. Like, they barely could even show him. And the description in the book of that was like, huh.
Yeah, that was scary.
It took a lot out of me.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. Wow, I don't know, I think the, being able to transform into an animal and stuff, and then, like, how you have to, like, actually register and all that stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. And, that, like, the Marauders, like, taught themselves how to, transform without, you know, getting on the registry, which, wow, how? Like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just think that's pretty crazy.
That?
Yeah, how could these kids do that?
Everything that was happening in the ministry. Like, all the different departments and all of the different nuances, like the way that those, like, paper airplanes and all of that stuff.
Oh, yeah, very cool.
I just would have loved to spend even more time there.
Yeah, and Arthur Weasley's job in general, the misuse of Muggle artifacts stuff. That's so cool.
Arthur Weasley as a whole.
Arthur Weasley in general. Amazing. Yeah, I love that guy. Awesome.
Oh my god, their story of how they meet or something, like, that would be great.
Oh my god, their meet cute would be the cutest, probably.
But in the books, when you get, like, him meeting up with Hermione's parents and stuff, and, like, just torturing them, and Molly's like, God, leave them alone! But he can't. He loves them.
It's so fantastic.
Are you on the same... A lot of people, like, they have in their minds that they think that Hermione went back and reversed her Obliviate on them.
J.K. Rowling did indeed.
Oh, she did say that? Was it a tweet?
That they went back. Actually, no, I don't even believe it. I don't even think it was a tweet, actually. I think she mentioned it in a thing, but I think that was just so sad. That, like, I think
it would have been more impactful if she left them that way, but I can understand going back and reversing that.
But at the same time, like, the evil is gone, so, like, they're not really in danger anymore. But there's always gonna be... I want, like, a sequel that's, like, you know, past the life of Harry and all of their kids, like, even past that generation, another uprising, because there's always going to be a dark wizard, but have him be, like, a Huffpuff. Like, a dark fucking plant holding Huffpuff. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of, I was listening to one of the podcasts, an old archived one back from 2005, and I about died laughing, and I hope you guys think this is funny. When they had done this contest, it was kind of like a contest where they were trying to have people send in ways that you think Voldemort is going to die, or you hope he dies.
Oh, okay.
And one of their favorites was when they talked about if Harry slapped on a pair of earmuffs and then just ripped a mandrake up out of the pot. And that's how Voldemort was killed.
Oh my god.
Instead of using the killing curse. Because you know Harry, like, would never use it, and then...
that's one of my favorite
Voldemort
facets.
With a mandrake.
That would have been so funny.
I love that he ends up ending him with a defensive curse.
Yeah, and still didn't use
I
the
love
killing
that.
curse on him. Yeah.
And also, because I played the Lego games, the mandrakes really piss me off.
Oh,
they're so annoying in that game, because you walk, like, 1 mile per hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even. Man. Way longer.
They're heavy.
Yeah, heavy little Drake.
Thinking more about the expanded universe, how do you guys feel about Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the movie?
So I will
not
say...
enough beasts.
Yeah, not
True.
enough beasts. That one scene, though, I mean, that was obviously very cool. Like, that
when
was
more
they're
of
in
that.
his
Yeah, and that
suitcase,
one where, and I can't recall what the beast was called that was chasing them around New York, the giant one, and they
the
were like
rhino
on the,
kind of thing.
Yeah, and they were like on
yeah.
ice, like slipping around. I felt like that scene went on for a really long time. I mean,
Yes,
it was
it
good and
did.
it was funny and stuff, but it's like with stuff like that, I don't know. It's just I feel like they could have done a lot more.
We're still kind of like, when we rewatched it like the other day, we really tried to pay attention to the Thunderbird and then that Venom from that like little yo-yo.
It was
Yeah.
winged death or flying death or
Something
something like
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
And I tried to pay more attention, and they were saying that like it's gonna get rid of bad memories. So my thing is like, there's so many plot holes with that. Like, is it just this bad memory of like what just happened in New York right now? Is
Right.
it all of your bad memories, which would be really crazy? That would change people's lives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly.
Also, if you weren't drinking water or taking a shower at that moment, but you still observed some
Also,
of
if
this,
you didn't think that it was a bad thing happening,
which is what my theory is, that one guy, that he's like an American, he's a nomad, and he's one of the like people in government or something. Like
no, it was the newspaper,
The
and like you
newspaper.
had the newspaper head honcho, and they has two sons. The one son's just like a dick, just like the head honcho,
And he gets fucked.
There's there's the other
And he's
news
watching-
guy that like tries to bring in the what the hell is that group with
you know what I mean, like the Amish people, but they weren't Amish.
Yeah.
yeah. He tries to bring them in for a story. Because he knows, like, oh, wizards, they exist. Like, you gotta listen to
Clearly,
this. Like,
the paper is going to be important, and I feel like
Yeah.
they're going to bring, like, wizarding to,
because
like,
that
the
didn't
Muggle
really
world or
bubble up
whatever.
to anything in this
Yeah.
movie, so
And
it's
they wouldn't
definitely
bring
gotta
it
come
up.
back. Yeah.
But my theory is, like, because when you're seeing him watch, when they're dealing with, basically, the Obscurious at the very end, you see him, he's kind of like, he has, like, a smile on his face, like, when
Yeah.
they're watching all of that unfold, so I'm like, did he not think it was a bad memory? Is he going to remember this?
Yeah.
And then that'll play a role in the next couple movies.
So I'll say I thought it was good, but me being me, the jury's still out because
You need more movies.
Yeah.
but like I have put so much into the Harry Potter series, meaning
Yeah.
the 7 books. I don't think you guys understand. Like I have
Oh, we
literally,
get you.
I have put so much into this, like time, money, like just everything. Like several decisions in my life have been made because of these books.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, I know, but it's still like. So for me, it is actually really hard to try to continue this, like obsession. Essentially, like it is difficult, especially when they're not really making it easy for me. Like it's not.
And they're making it like
It's not something
you
I
have
ever-
to do it because
Yeah.
they're bringing in stuff that you already know
Yeah,
about, like
and
Dumbledore
and
all
it's
that.
not something that I ever wanted. I never wanted.
You didn't want the Fantastic Beasts
I
movie.
never was like, wow, I really want a movie about the Fantastic Beasts and Newt Scamander's,
I wanted
textbook.
a
I want
movie.
him finding the beasts.
Yeah.
with
Tracking
Dumbledore.
him down,
Yeah,
doing
like,
his
that would
thing.
be cool.
That would be awesome.
That's what I was expecting. And see, we've only seen it once. We saw it when it was in theaters.
Yeah.
So
I'd
we
recommend watching it.
Yeah, I was
we
gonna say
will.
we should probably
will.
watch it again.
And don't worry, I'm sure I'll come around. Check on me.
Check on
Check
it.
I
on me.
wanted-
yeah. Remind me.
I want, the whole Dumbledore Grindelwald thing. Like, I
Yes.
want that story because that's another thing. I was like, wow, I could have books on this, but that's my thing. It's like, I want books before you
I agree.
do
Books
these
before
mov-
looks.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the part of what makes the Harry Potter universe so amazing, and the first 7 books is just, it almost seems silly to say, but like they're so submersive, and she is a literary genius, and we've seen that because
she
of
builds
the
these
books.
plots like
Right.
so
She's
intricately.
amazing, and I mean,
There's
she
so
wrote
much
these books,
detail.
and look what she's done. The first person to ever become a billionaire from writing books. I mean, that's amazing. So the movies, they're never going to be like that.
They're a companion.
They're
Yeah,
never right. It's a
exactly.
companion. They're never going to be like that.
but that's separate now. But it's
Yeah.
at the same time, I still think like you can probably enjoy Fantastic Beasts if you haven't read Harry Potter.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
But
Enjoy.
you're not gonna really.
At a surface level,
Yeah,
you can
Yeah.
enjoy
exactly.
it.
Enjoy, but don't expect much from me.
You'll know,
You know?
okay, he's the bad guy, he's the
Yeah.
good guy,
Yeah.
good one, whatever. You know what I
I
mean?
it's gonna be really hard every time Johnny Depp's there.
I was just about to say
Who
that.
knows?
That
I mean,
really
there's still
turned me off.
we can.
It
There's,
sucks because I really want to be able to look past it, but I fucking can't.
who knows? Something may happen. They may end up recasting it because I mean, he did have such a small snippet. And I mean, who knows?
There's
I don't
been such
know.
an uproar. If they can recast, I mean, they didn't do that on purpose, Dumbledore. They did it. And he was
Yes.
in, like, quite a few movies, and they were still able to do it. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and we were okay. And I mean, Dumbledore's obviously he's a major character, and
I cannot
But I
wait
mean,
to find
so
out
what
who's
were
going to play
what
him.
were we gonna do?
Yeah, CGI him the rest of the
Yes.
time.
Oh, Richard Harris, rest in peace.
I know. Who
But-
did you like more to portray Dumbledore?
Okay. I loved Richard Harris.
Is
I
Richard
thought
Harris
he was the first
in
one.
the first two?
So great. Richard Harris was awesome. Can I imagine him trekking through the cave?
No, absolutely
going to
not.
get the
yeah.
locket with
But-
Harry? No.
But I think he has more of the gentleness that Dumbledore has in the books, because him screaming in Goblet of Fire, I mean, calm down.
I like, not so much Order of the Phoenix because he's not really around in that one, but like I like Half-Blood Prince Michael Gambon.
I completely agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a really good one for Dumbledore.
Yeah,
I
wow,
think it was
thank
just
you.
like his directing, like the way he was directed and written in Goblet of Fire. I'm sure he's probably acting out the way that he was being instructed to act out the scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they probably wrote him to be like, okay,
Yeah,
you're gonna be
of
like
course,
more.
I'm
They were
Sure.
like, do it again, but be extra as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think I prefer him as the actor for this role. One, because I could never see Richard Harris doing those other things.
Of course,
And
yeah.
two, like
I would be worried.
I like the way that he brought Dumbledore in the Half-Blood Prince. I like the way that he portrayed him
Yeah.
in that movie.
So I definitely think, I think Michael Gambon, it probably just took him a little bit of time to figure out what this role really was. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's all about what they told him to do. You're right. But
Yeah.
So I don't know. I definitely liked him, but the portrayal of Dumbledore was just so much harsher than what it needed to be.
Yeah.
Dumbledore was not a harsh,
He got the look,
edgy.
though. He had the look.
Oh God, yeah, of course. I think he looked great, but yeah, he was not the mean, edgy, misunderstood like person.
They were trying to get like the air of mystery about him because you're never quite sure about
But
Dumbledore,
see,
but they
that's
got it
so sad.
wrong
But-
for like
right.
anger and
But Dumbledore,
stuff.
it's like,
And
well,
condescension.
he's the type of person that like he's very mysterious, but you trust him so much that you're not even that curious about his
Yeah.
history, because
I
you're
know.
like, if it was something I would need to know, Dumbledore, like Harry didn't even think
Harry's
about
like,
Dumbledore's
he would tell me.
life. Yeah, he didn't even think about
That's what I
Dumbledore's
was
life
going to say.
before.
Do you think that they tried to portray him in the movies like that because
They
in
do.
the end you find out that like
Everything about
He's
he
him.
more
basically
complex.
threw Harry to the wolves and wanted to from the beginning.
Raised him for slaughter.
I think
to
it's
quote
kind of
Yeah.
like with the movies, they needed to make it more obvious that he wasn't just like your good-natured, like good character, because they were just, you have to be more obvious in case you don't have the subtext of the books, and that's what they did with like, where they totally fucked up the twist with, I just think of, what's his
Mad-Eye
face?
Moody.
Yeah, Mad-Eye Moody, and like how you don't really, that he's up to no good
You
the
don't
whole
know
time.
it's Crouch. Like
Yeah, and
you-
they show Crouch in the beginning of the movie, so you already know who's twisting it all up. Like, they had to be more obvious, I guess.
The thing is, though, they don't even, like, by the end of Deathly Hallows, they don't really even go into, like, wow, Dumbledore, he's not really who you think he is. Like, they
still
don't
one of my
really
favorite
explore
facets
that.
of it.
Yeah, it's essentially just Rita Skeeter's, writing, of course, in the Life and Lines.
Which, by
But,
the
like-
way, I'd love that as a companion book. Just her entire
yeah.
book.
Like,
It'd be
to read
so
that
fun
book.
to read with
yeah, but
her writing
I don't
it.
want her perspective.
Yeah, I know, she's
God.
shitty.
But it would be like the gossip from other people, so you'd get like other people's perspective of him,
Yeah,
and it wouldn't
that's
be
true.
interesting to read.
That's true, but I still, just with her, she's probably using that freaking quick quotes quill.
Oh fuck!
And that
Oh my
thing's
god!
a liar.
Though, how do you
Yeah.
feel about Hermione holding her in captivity for so long?
Yikes!
Honestly, I loved it.
It was a
Hermione.
twist.
She's a, underlying Slytherin shit,
Yeah,
so let's be real.
I still really feel that. Like, she's very
and
cunning.
writing, or having sneak or whatever burned into what's-her-face's
Ooh.
forehead.
Yeah, yeah.
classic.
She scarred that girl, yeah.
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 She's a
She
Griffin
did.
Sliv.
Oh, goodness, what was her name? Edgecombe was her last name. I can't think
Yeah,
of
I
it.
know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
It's a Cho's friend.
Something with an
Marietta?
N, but I can't. Yeah, Marietta, exactly.
Yeah.
Marietta Edgecombe, yeah.
That's so
Way to go,
dark.
Cho. Jeez, why would you sign the paper anyway?
I
Like,
know.
God, you didn't even want to be there in the first place.
The
You
Cho
crazy?
plot really fucked a lot of things up.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
but
not
again-
her fault.
Yeah, she,
It's just like Harry being like, wow, okay, I probably shouldn't be spending any time on a romance right now because I'm trying to save the world. Like,
Yeah.
seriously. Well,
And, like, honestly, would you go after, like, dead Cedric's girl? I don't know, man.
yeah, because
Even if you had some
Questionable.
tinglies.
yeah, because that was like him and Cedric were friends. Cedric was a
Cedric,
very nice
was gonna
guy.
save him. Like,
Yeah.
they both were like, let's just touch her together, guys. Not Cho, the cup.
If only. Wow.
Not trying to promote that one.
Yeah, really.
But honestly, more threesomes in the Harry Potter universe.
That's the spinoff.
Yeah.
Who do you think is like the bisexual character? Because it's, that's up for debate.
I think Luna.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh,
We all
yeah.
scream.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
real.
Luna
Well,
for sure.
As probably like my final question is like, how do you feel about like I get like the whole time period of when this was written with the LGBT climate and politics, but how do you feel about the representation being there after the book has already been published?
AKA Dumbledore being, said as gay, even though, like,
It's not.
I know that kind of came about because people were like, oh, there's this weird thing between Harry and Dumbledore, even though I
never
literally
felt that.
never got that ever in my life. And then they were like, oh, yeah, JK's like, he's gay, but, like, that still doesn't explain people thinking, like, he was trying to be for this underage boy. Like,
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I never
Who
see...
says that?
I've
never heard that.
It's the same people that think a look at somebody is like, oh, the sexual tension. She punched him in the face. They clearly are
nobody.
gonna
I
fuck
think
later.
everybody has been afraid to talk to me about Harry Potter for most of my life, so I think that's why I don't hear a lot of this because they don't want me.
I was
to
on
drag
Tumblr.
them.
That's all you needed to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here we go. Yeah, I think they just don't want me to drag them. So.
Because, like, I feel like they're gonna have to, like, elaborate on that in Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, but let's be real though. Dumbledore, the way that he is, and the way, or at least the way that we know him,
I don't need to know about his romantic life.
and I think J.K. Rowling feels the same way though. I think, and that's essentially what she said is like, guys, it doesn't really matter.
Romance doesn't really play that.
Yeah, also, your
big a role
sexuality
in
doesn't
it.
have to be your whole character either.
Of course,
But
not.
it would have been cool to get, like, that, validation in a book,
Yeah,
especially for all these young people.
But then you have to think about too. She wanted to write successful books, of course.
I get
so
it.
it's like it.
And they were already getting burned for,
right, and,
Big
right,
magic,
witchcraft
yeah.
and stuff, and they were in the 90s, and
I know. It's
what
a
are you gonna
complex
do?
situation.
It's easy to come back retroactively, and
I
be
wonder
upset
if,
about
like,
it, but
she could write them now in 2017.
what she would do.
Yeah.
It sucks
I don't
now,
think she would
though,
change
that,
anything.
like, with this new universe, like, we're having Grindelwald and then Dumbledore, and obviously this is going to explore their relationship, but it's like, Grindelwald's, like, he's a gay character, but he's a really bad, like, uses it as in a manipulative way.
He's, like, an evil, and
So-
it just perpetuates a stereotype, but at the same time, people can be complex. Not every gay person is going to be a good person.
Yeah,
It's a
of course
lot.
not. Well, and you got to remember this too, that Dumbledore also was headed down that path of, for the greater good. He was too, and they were best friends. And then old Aberforth tried to pull him out of it, and then
The old fourth.
yeah. So it's, I mean, I don't know. I think it's definitely more complex than
Than we think.
than we think. And then same thing. I mean, J.K. Rowling wrote these books, and what she says goes because essentially she is the author.
Yep.
And if she tells us something, we have to listen to it because I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's
She is
how
the
it
one
goes.
who wrote the book.
she's the one. I mean, she's the one that's got this
Do we
information.
have to listen to everything that happened in Cursed Child?
No.
Well, she didn't. I
haven't
mean,
read it, but-
because again, like we said, her involvement wasn't incredibly heavy. I mean, it was, but not really that much. And I mean, we have to remember that it was a play, and you guys have talked about this many times. But when people say it's fan fiction, it's fan fiction. Of course, it's fan fiction. The whole thing after the first book gained the fandom that it did. All of the books are fan fiction, essentially.
Ooh, we're gonna rub some feathers tonight, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, so it's, and I think it was still good. And of course, I still read The Cursed Child. It's sitting on the bookshelf, and it was great, and I loved it. But I mean, you
there
have
are
to
some
remember,
questionable decisions.
Of course, like the Time Turner, like
That's actually the thing that bugs me the least, because reading through it now, like, there wasn't that much explanation of the mechanics of the Time Turner.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't
No,
that
you're
much.
right. It was
So
loose.
that, like, it was okay for me. It's like the Voldemort is a sexual being, you know what I mean? And having a child with
that-
Bellatrix.
That I'm like, I don't need that.
I don't believe
there
it.
is no way
he's
that
not
man.
human.
He's split his soul so many times. There's absolutely no way that man is not sterile. Like he cannot.
It's like when Edward get Bella preg, and he's
and like,
fucking
can
dead.
you imagine Bellatrix
Look how that
Lestrange?
turned out.
Bellatrix Lestrange carrying a baby? Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
And
like,
I'm also just
no.
annoyed.
she's not taking prenatals.
Yeah, my God, no.
This is just a dumb thing, but I'm annoyed that it's like the quote-unquote 8th book in the Harry Potter series, but it's not from his perspective.
This is not the 8th book in the Harry Potter series.
Well, she calls it...
I know.
Everybody refers to it as the 8th one, and it's Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Look, take it from me. It's not the 8th book in the Harry Potter series. It was, take that cover right off. If you take that cover off, it doesn't say it on there, so... It's
just the Cursed Child. That's what it should just be called, the Cursed Child.
Yeah, it's Cursed Child. I
mean... The last question I have here is, there's apparently a theory that people are confused as to why Harry isn't considered an obscurial, but Credence and Dumbledore's sister were, because there's a point where they're saying that, like, Harry was suppressing his magic, but I know that, like, you have opinions on this theory.
Yeah, it's not that, like, an obscurial is, like, somebody knowing, like, I have magic, but I don't want this.
I don't want to use
I'm
this.
suppressing it. Mm-hmm. And then Harry's like, I don't know what the fuck a wizard is. And he
like, doesn't even know.
And like they describe in Sorcerer's Stone that he's doing shit that is like there's unexplained things happening all throughout his childhood. Like, the glass leaves, the fucking
he was doing stuff at school
in
too.
The reptile room thing. Like flashbacks to Unfortunate Events series, the reptile room.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Classic.
But so like he's like doing magic, but he doesn't really know he's doing
Growing
it.
His hair back.
And he doesn't know that he has magic, so he can't suppress something that he doesn't know he has.
And I don't think he's like, I feel like, for me, in my mind, the obscurious is like someone that feels shame.
I think you have to have like an awareness that you have a magical ability.
And you're ashamed of that.
Yeah, which Credence definitely did, and I'm sure Ariana, I mean, look at who her brothers were. Like, I'm sure she was probably one of the most informed people in the Wizarding World to date. She's probably pretty smart, pretty knowledgeable of what's going on. So yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I think it could be different, obviously, if Harry had known it was magic, and
he was raised in this.
If they were like the same way they treated his mom and his I almost said father.
Yeah.
Like, Petunia has such a stigma against magic.
Yeah,
like, if he had known about it, and then Petunia was, like, beating into his head, like, no, this is bad stuff, things could have changed. Exactly. It could have been a different story.
Yeah, for sure. How weird would that... Can you imagine if Petunia and Vernon were, like, supportive of Harry being a wizard, but, like, still assholes, but, like, supportive? That would be so weird.
Yeah. That would be fucking
wild. A different thing.
Back to the question way before. So, something that I wish they would have added into the movies and the scene that they left out...
I know what you're going to say.
...was definitely when they would go, when, like, the Weasleys and Fred and George and Arthur went to go pick up Harry at the Dursleys' house, but also what you were thinking. I was going to say, when they went to go pick him up and they leave the Tum-Tum Toffee on the floor, Dudley picks it up, heavy tongue. I thought that was so funny. Just imagine Arthur Weasley crawling around, like, trying to, like, look under their cabinets and, like, peeking around their living room.
Yeah.
Like, trying to see. And I'm so sad that they left that out.
I'm still mad that they left out the scene with the Dursleys, but apparently it's part of the deleted scene.
It is, and it's not, I mean...
It's not the full effect, though, in the books.
Oh, no, it's not the same at all. It's not the same at all. Yeah.
They could have made extended cuts of those movies that were 4 hours long a piece, and I would have been fucking happy.
I would have treated it like DLC. I would have paid.
I'm gonna mod it, and I'm gonna make Dobby.
Wait, Dobby.
Wow,
we miss you.
A sensitive subject.
Oh God.
So my last question, even though I said that 14 times,
this has been like the 14th last question.
If they make a Netflix show, not that this is something that's happening, don't get your fucking hogs meat.
Yeah, we're starring all of us.
Yeah.
What would it be about?
But no, I mean, like, say they decided to do, like, kind of what Series of Unfortunate Events has done, where they do, like, I think it was, like, 4 episodes per book.
No, it's 2 episodes per book. They covered 4 books in that first season.
Okay, but more elaborate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking more than that.
Yeah.
Would you be pumped? Nervous?
I think
you'd watch every second,
that
of course.
They should never remake this ever, because so much of, like, this book has evolved so much more than just these books.
Yeah.
And, like, the imagery and everything that comes along with it, they built a whole fucking, like, 2 amusement parks about this goddamn shit based off of these movies that they have.
I want a steampunk version.
Oh my God. Get the fuck out of here.
Rachel.
I never want to see this shit remade ever again because of all of the imagery I have of it, and, like, they could never change that.
It's canon now. You know what things look like.
It is
be tainted.
Yeah, and that's tainted. That is a good word, because that's what I think about every single time we try to come up with these theories that don't make any sense.
Like
If
the
you-
blinking? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, no.
That's different. But when you come up with these theories that don't make sense, like you don't ignore things that the author of the books is telling you.
Yeah.
When you come up with theories, I get it's fun, because it is really fun to come up
It's
with
fun to
theories and stuff like
theorize.
that. It absolutely is. But when it's like legitimately impossible based on facts from the book, stop.
Not so fun. More fanfic.
You're wasting, yeah, exactly. I mean, write some fan fiction. Like it's a totally open platform, and anybody can do it, and you should. But yeah, and I think the more and more that we try to pry, I mean, we have 4,125 pages of book.
Oh my God, you know the number?
She pulled it out.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
That's to give her legitimacy
but that's
at
what,
the end.
yeah,
Creds.
creds. But yeah, so just because of that, like, you know, we've got enough, and look how far it's taken us. It's taken us 20 years into the future, like where this is still just as big of a deal as it was then, more.
Yeah, there's even more,
you know?
like,
Yeah.
merch and
Yeah,
parks and all that.
we love Harry Potter.
Just the way I imagine seeing how things are, like the way spells work, the way apparition
Apparition
looks,
looks.
which I still think is like brilliant the way they did that.
So cool, yeah, so
like
cool.
just the way that we see everything, that's how it is now. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And like if you ever tried to change that, it'd be too
The only thing they
fucking
can do
wild.
is recast Mad Eye Moody's eye
Yeah, really.
and take out the sounds.
take out that fucking strap around his head,
the clicking
and
sounds,
the
yeah.
clicks.
Yeah, there's definitely quite a few things that we would change, but I love it the way it is, and I think it's great.
Yep.
Well, on that note, thanks for having a heated, we're all sweating conversation
Yeah.
about
I
Harry
think this
Potter.
might be one of our longest episodes that we've had.
Cheers to that.
Glad
Yeah.
to contribute.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
And we
you guys
can-
were nervous about like not being able to fill the hour. I'm like, bitch, we're talking to Mallory.
Yeah, fill the hour. Yeah, sorry.
We
Mallory's
will
gonna have her own
definitely.
podcast just
Yeah.
about this.
Maybe we'll have another Harry Potter episode some other
Or
time.
we'll just
Maybe.
have you two losers back. You
Yeah,
know?
we'll just have you two
You
back.
know, if we want to come back.
But if
Yeah,
I'm
if
on
you
it,
want
it's
to.
going to be a Harry Potter podcast.
That's the only way we
Sorry.
can book you.
Sorry.
All right. Well, where can we find you guys on the internet? I know
If you
you're
want
pretty
us to be
private now
found.
because you're a cool working binge.
Yeah,
But Ash,
My handle on everything, I think.
pretty much.
PNW Fox. That's right, you heard it. PNW Fox.
FOX.
Pacific
It's-
Northwest.
It's FOX, not like Fox the Phoenix. It's FOX.
Oh, that's a good
So,
clarification
yeah.
to make for
Especially
the show.
for this
Okay.
episode.
Yes.
My wife saving my life.
Yeah.
Well, get ready to clink, guys. Come on. What the fuck do you think this
Oh
is?
my god. Shit.
All right, so binges, stay tuned. We're gonna fucking binge you right now, but the rest of you guys, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Whoa, that was extra.
Alright, guys, so as always, we're gonna do this Harry Potter style because what else would make sense here?
There's like endless amounts of things that you could do for Harry Potter.
Absolutely. So let's start off with Nicole Dowling, who is the coal-powered Hogwarts Express.
Alex Capraro is Hermione keeping Rita Skeeter in captivity.
Kim Boyver is setting off dung bombs in the boys' dormitory.
Shannon Shires is riding on the Durmstrang ship.
Alicia McKee is Hagrid, the keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts.
Kimberly Proza is Professor Binns droning on about the history of magic.
Sammy Jessam is sampling the foods the house elves have made.
Sarah Booth is Umbridge booting Harry from her class.
Kate Convery is Hermione using expert concealment charms.
Taylor Collins is burning a hole in their cauldron.
Emma Corbeil is using Levi Corpus.
Sloane Fuller is full of cauldron cakes.
Angelica Feliz is making Felix delicious.
M. Samek loves wearing emerald robes.
Rebecca Edmondson is Harry's son, Albus.
Taryn Parker is speaking Parseltongue.
Alana Barbosa is Barty Crouch Jr. as Mad-Eye Moody.
Lucy is a seer.
Taylor Mays is Madame Malkin tailoring some robes.
Shay A. is Harry sharing his trolley treats with Ron.
Megan Ashley is Fox burning into ash.
Cody Castillo is casting a disarming spell.
Bailey Lynn is Fred and George bailing on school.
Emily Tormey loves visiting the stores in Hogsmeade.
Stoney Fast Brune is the best in their class on a broomstick.
Taylor Hancock has their hand on a quaffle.
Sabrina Hughes wears vibrant hues of purple.
Fiona is feeding the owls in the owlery.
Stephanie Oliver is stuffed after the welcoming feast.
Sylvia Ehrlichman Gross thinks cauldron cakes are gross.
Juanita Cara is bewitching a car to have more space.
Annie Wynn is one of the winged thestrals.
Cassandra Lee is Lee Jordan commentating the Quidditch match.
Emma Nygren is Harry becoming Gregory Goyle with the Polyjuice potion.
Courtney Hall is enchanting the ceiling of the Great Hall.
Becca Jansen is sending a howler.
Angela Sue is jealous of Hermione's high marks.
Michelle North is visiting Durmstrang in the north.
Aaron Bray is braving the winter storm to go to Honeydukes.
Jada Goshi caught the golden snitch.
Maya Elizabeth is reading their list of supplies for Hogwarts.
Ishbel Mendez is desperate to get all outstanding owls.
Talia Miller is Voldemort drinking Nagini's milk.
Okay. Margarita is the smartest 6th year.
Avery Labelson is labeling their potion to be graded.
Daisy Blossom Dottie is gagging on some Birdie Bots every flavor beans.
Chloe Archer is arching their back to dodge a curse.
Anthony Hood is creeped out by the Death Eater's hoods. Not the rest of them, but just the hood.
Mariah Hanna is Peter getting a silver hand.
Liz Hallbrook mistook a blast-ended screw for a common lizard.
Jennifer Habgood isn't very good at charms.
Madison Greer is fighting a common Welsh green dragon in the Triwizard Tournament.
Madison Wolfe is Snape brewing Wolf's Bane for Lupin.
Megan McNally is finally able to conjure a Patronus.
Skylar Medley is practicing medicine at St. Mungo's.
Megan Preyes is lurking around Borgin and Burke's.
Corey Springfield is practicing flying in a field.
Ilka is falling ill from dragonpox.
Jaxadora Who is learning Lumos Maxima.
Nicole Allen used transfiguration to change the color of a bird.
Courtney White brought a snowy white owl to school.
Bridget Carey Davis loves care of magical creatures.
Jennifer Cornwell is Cornelius Fudge.
Wow. Sophia Cock is feeding the mandrakes.
Ash Roselle is Ron and Hermione's kid Rose.
Jackie Burkhart is Gilderoy Lockhart smiling on his books.
Beth Fonseca is using Sectum Sempra.
Jackie Bergiulio likes being in Gryffindor because they're a Leo.
Christina Contreras is spending Christmas at Hogwarts.
Ian Murphy is Harry murmuring in his sleep.
Kendall Berg is watching Fox burn.
Allie McGregor thinks the Yule Ball is gorgeous.
Megan Grilly is growing gills after eating gillyweed.
Chloe Ireland landed on their back after getting hit with a Pertificus totalis.
Taka Roach is riding the carriages on the road to Hogwarts.
Haley Cadwallader is taking Sir Cadogan down from the wall.
Camellia Mulkey is Narcissa dissing Harry in Madame Malkin's.
Maddie Pullman is the Bloody Baron getting mad at Peeves.
Amanda Pete is Peter Pettigrew as Scabbers.
Caitlin Whalen is moaning Myrtle wailing.
Cody Robinson is Peeves robbing trophies from the trophy room.
Lauren Chavone is shivering in the potions dungeon.
Dana Daly is Rita Skeeter writing garbage for the Daily Prophet.
Megan Wilson is willing to participate in Fred and George's trial runs.
Claire Wood has a wand made of dogwood.
Anna Hernandez thinks the best witch in school is Hermione.
Jenna Gordon-Near is nearly headless Nick.
Sarah is scared of Grupp, and aren't we all?
Flynn and Drew are brewing Draught of the Living Death.
Bridget Dubin is the Death Eaters destroying a Muggle bridge.
Hilary Gay is climbing a hill to reach a portkey.
Mackenzie Knight is Dumbledore's mother Kendra.
And Rachel Evans is actually Lily Evans.
Wow, pretty important role, I would say.
Wow. So I think everybody else is a different birdie bot, every flavor bean.
Alright, so we got Vomit. Okay, so we've got Holly Stark,
Allison Francois,
Ashley Riefenberger,
Joanna Jensen,
Mallory,
Allie Malone,
Kathleen Wynn,
and Rose Barnett.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed probably the last Harry Potter episode we're gonna do in a while.
Probably like one of the longest episodes we've ever done, ever.
Yeah, true.
So that was fun.
I mean, it's fucking 7 books, 8 movies, and a whole lot of fucking theories. So
yeah,
you
we
could
got
spend
content
forever on this. But we hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in our next one.
Bye.
Bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.